Welcome to Kinda Funny's Super Mario Brothers in review. That's right, we're ranking, reviewing, and recapping every single Super Mario Brothers Hollywood movie. We're doing a little bit backwards, though. Normally we do things in release order, but just because of how the schedule worked, we are doing the 2023 Mario movie this week, and then next week we're doing the 1993 classic Super Mario Brothers.
I'll call it a classic.
It's a cool
call.
It's going to be a great time.
Sure.
Of course, I'm Tim Geddes. I'm joined by the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino. Wahoo! The new face of video games, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Wahoo!
One of the coolest dudes in video games, Greg Miller.
Wahoo!
Oh, I expected something more. That was good. It was a good impression.
When we got a
looked
good
like you were sitting there prepping for
wahoo.
something.
I'm sorry,
you
can
know?
you give Greg Miller a Coke?
I'm just pure energy right now.
Oh, no.
All right?
No.
When you go see a movie at 9:30 in the morning in a Cinemark filled with two other dads and their kids, and they're like, why is this 40-year-old man sitting here alone inhaling popcorn at 9:15?
Yeah.
You're gonna have a
popcorn
good
at
day.
9:15 in the morning.
What, you go to the movie theater, you're not gonna have popcorn?
Not at 9:15
Not
in the
even
morning.
just for the photo. Just for the photo.
I don't take photos every time I go to the theater.
Blessing.
What up?
This popcorn's still good.
He's eating the popcorn
Are you
right
eating
now.
the popcorn
Great.
right
Yeah,
now?
I bought him the
Kevin didn't even go to the
popcorn.
movie.
It's 1:30.
What? Well, 1:30's too early?
No, but that popcorn is from like 4 hours ago.
I want you to know
snobby cutoff
that
for
long
popcorn?
before
I'm telling
any
you,
of
it's
us
great
were
popcorn.
here, they called it maize, and it was what this continent was founded on, all right? And
from
I'm
Illinois.
here
I'm down
with
with maize.
disrespect for corn.
That's so true.
The Texas Street Latino Heat clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. The Globe-trotting, headshotting, rootin' tootin', three-point shooting. Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv. Andy Cortez. Hello! Oh, shit. Yeah. Kev, you good popcorn? Can I have a little bit?
I mean,
I feel
there's
like
nothing.
it's a little stale, I feel like.
Yeah?
Blessing will,
It's like 5
invite
hours.
Blessing to the wedding. He'll find the loose threads on the bride's dress just to insult her and ruin the
It's
day.
I
not
just
gonna
wanna be her
last.
day.
This marriage is not going to last.
I just wanted it to be her day.
Pretty good. It was pretty good popcorn. Going to be completely honest with you. Of course, this is Kinda Funny's In Review, where each and every week we rank, review, and recap different movie franchises. If there's movies out there that you love or hate, chances are we have reviewed them, and you can find those reviews on youtube.com/kindafunny or roosterteeth.com in video form. But if you like podcasts, search your favorite podcast service for Kinda Funny In Review, and we will be right there for you. Got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming up. The next big one, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out, ending the saga. We will be doing a rewatch of 1 and 2 leading into that, so get prepared for all of that goodness. If you want to get all of this ad-free and watch live as we record it, you got to go to patreon.com/kindafunny, just like our Patreon producers, Tripod Plus, James Hastings. Now I have popcorn kernels all over my mouth.
In the mouth.
Yeah, I'm trying to wash them
I had
down.
one
It's hard.
little popcorn, and it
all
ruined
stuck
everything.
in you, stuck in the gums.
I can already hear in your voice that you're blaming me. That was your decision.
I'm not blaming you.
You're an
I'm blaming
adult.
me. I'm an
Kevin,
adult.
you did
I
the
made
right
decisions.
thing, all right? For too long, we've sat here and not recognized maize.
Both the corn and the fun puzzle.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The fun puzzle.
You remember that Batman?
Everyone's favorite.
I'm with you.
describing
Who
it.
doesn't
call
love
it?
a good
I
maze?
puzzle.
I love a winding path. A winding path?
Wounded path.
My
winding
Lord.
path.
Ladies and
What are
gentlemen,
you
I'm the only
doing
one
here?
on point today.
Good job. Good job, Andy. Where was I? What was I saying? The shows, there's
You were in the Patreon
you can do all the
producers.
stuff. Yeah. Tripod Plus, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Nathan Lamoth, Al Tribesman, The Predator. Thank you very much. And thank you for all your support. You can join him, patreon.com/kindafunny. But for everyone else, you're going to have to hear the ads from Shady Rays and Evil Dead Rise. But let's get into the heart of it, the meat of it.
Trying to get
The Super Mario Brothers movie. With the runtime of, oh, bless you, sweet child, 1 hour and 32 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You've heard our pleas. Released on April 5th, 2023, 30 years after the last movie. 30
Wow.
years.
to the day.
Worth the wait.
Not quite. May 28th was
hour.
the last
To
one.
the day.
To the exact fucking hour. This was directed by Aaron Horvath, who was the lead storyboard artist.
I know, right? Jesus. You
That's a lot.
gotta pronounce the whore so hard? Jeez, this is a kid's
What's
movie,
going on,
you
man?
fuck.
He was the lead storyboard artist on the Drawn Together
You're
movie.
killing it today.
Kevin, let me tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh, great.
I'm going to bring up an American disaster, but it's not the one you think.
Yeah. I'd like shirtless Mario to make an appearance on this podcast at some point.
Made his directorial debut with Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which I never saw.
Oh. I've not seen it, but I've heard very good
It was
things
good.
about
Me too. Yeah. So cool. And also co-directed with Michael Jelenic, who was the producer on Teen Titans Go to the Movies and lead writer on a lot of the Lego properties, Scooby-Doo, and a lot of the DC animated films. The music in this was done by Brian Tyler and, of course, Koji Kondo. Koji being the original composer of the majority of Mario music, and Brian Tyler known for Fast and Furious movies and a lot of like bigger, higher profile Hollywood films. Them together. They freaking nailed it. There's no actual budget posted for this one, but
No expense was spared.
no expense was spared. That is very true. The
Make his
estimates
nose
are
more
that it's
bulbous.
about over 100 million, which makes it the highest cost movie that Illumination's ever made. Previously, Sing 2 last year was $85 million. But it's okay because it's pacing to be one of the highest ones of all time. It's on track to gross around $125 million at the domestic box office in its 5-day opening weekend. It's also projected to make $100 million internationally, bringing its worldwide total to $225 million, making it the best opening weekend for a video game adaptation. But that info is even outdated as of the midnight screenings last night. And this is a rare instance that because of some dates moving around, it was actually a midnight release. Like, this was not a movie you can go see at 6 p.m. or whatever. You had to watch it at midnight. And
Good. Restoring something to America that we've all been missing.
midnight
Midnight
release.
release.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Andy, if we had to do midnight
Oh,
release?
man. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad.
You'd be so bad.
Andy, what a weird stance to you're trying to get America.
I don't know why I
back.
did it.
Very make America great.
don't have
sounding.
don't have a good reason.
Really screwing yourself over.
Yeah,
here.
everybody wants a participation Jovi, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't
But
know.
right now,
Andy, I'm with you, bro. Let's do it.
after the sold out midnight showings last night, it seems to be pacing towards a 200 domestic opening, which is 75 million more than they were talking about. So this movie's going to do very, very well.
Is it kind of bullshit because they get 3 extra days on the weekend release?
Hey,
But
everybody
when you're
knows.
comparing it to
Everyone
the
knows
same
how
thing,
the game's played. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all
Remember
about
when
the game and how you
Independence
play.
Day came out even earlier than it was supposed to because it was we all liked it so much or thought we'd like it so much. That's the game.
ID4.
Hollywood's hip to the game that they're making up.
Need it.
You know who's not hip to the game that they're
that?
making up here? Film critics. Film critics did not like this movie. Yesterday it was sitting at a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Today it's risen to a 53%, but it has a 98% audience score, which gives it an A+ cinema score, which is very rare. But you see this happen every once in a while.
How much of this is still the lingering presence of Roger Ebert? Of course, we know he had a big bone to pick with video games. They got the video gamers really mad at him.
Didn't like The Wizard.
We did the whole thing where, we all argued with each other online, and it really was a line in the sand between people who play video games and people who critique movies. And I think this was the critics' chance to, swing back. The video game players have swung back now, and maybe we don't need movie critics anymore. Sorry, Eric Goldman.
And I do think we
Sorry,
need
Goldman
to
Sachs.
also just keep on reiterating that Rotten Tomatoes means the tomatoes are rotten. No, that the scores
Can you
are.
explain round robin to me?
If it's 53%, that means that 53% of critics gave it a 6 out of 10 or up. Like that
It's
score.
thumbs up, thumbs
or-
down.
Yeah.
Either you like it or you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So-
keep that in mind, everybody.
Keeping that in mind, Bless, I want to start with you.
Wait, Andy, that just makes it way more confusing.
Well,
That confused you a little bit.
Well, it's because several people could have given it a 6 out of 10 and be like, yeah, it's a decent movie, and they still get that still counts towards don't see it or do see it or whatever the hell.
I'm so lost.
He says as he pulls fucking back. Mario is missing everybody. Blessing, it is rare.
Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice got a 29 on the tomato meter. It's broken. I'm with Andy.
I'm with Andy. Blessing, it's rare that you make an appearance here on in review, but you did do Mortal Kombat with us. You did Indiana Jones with us. You could have
Yeah.
returned for that.
Can I come back for the next one?
But you did that because they announced the Xbox game. So we're like, okay, well, let's watch these movies. But here you are for Mario. What did you think of Super Mario Brothers 2023?
I thought this movie was absolutely magical. It is everything I wanted out of a Mario movie. I came out of the movie, and I think I mentioned to you that I don't know how they can make a Mario movie better. The critics thing shocked me. When the Rotten Tomatoes score went up, and then thinking through it more, I think it is the idea of a video game movie that is adapting a game series that doesn't really have much story to go off of, right? And so it's them filling in a bunch of the gaps. I think it's that plus, when you compare it to a Pixar animated movie, there is a lack of, I think, emotional resonance for a wider audience, right? Like this Mario movie feels more like a kid's movie than a movie that I can go to as an adult and still like tear up and get emotional, even though I did, but for a different reason, right? And that reason was nostalgia, and that reason was all the references and Easter eggs in this movie. And this movie can pack in so many damn Easter eggs. Like about 10 minutes into the movie, there were so many things that I saw where I was like, okay, I gotta remember this to reference this on in review. All right, I'll remember this poster over here in this room. And 10 minutes in, I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna keep up with all this shit because there's way too many references in this movie in a great way. I was smiling throughout the entire thing. The music, is probably the best part of this whole thing, right? Like, there are so many themes that they pull from throughout the entire Mario series, and the way in which they match up what the themes are in the games to what is going on screen in the movie was just so excellently done, and also very well paced and also very well composed. Like, even just hearing some of the orchestration of the Mario music from back in the day really brought in new life into a lot of those themes, and so very much appreciate that aspect. I thought the performances were great. Like I owe Chris Pratt an apology because I was not expecting that much out of him, and he fucking brought it. Great job, Chris Pratt. Like the one complaint I have in performance is probably from Cranky Kong, who, as soon as Cranky Kong opens his mouth, I'm like, that is not Cranky Kong. That is.
And we're all aligned on that. Like that's the thing where like everyone I'm talking to has been like, what the fuck, man?
So it was it was a very odd choice to like, Fred Armisen, you're a talented dude. I don't know why they had you do that voice.
Yeah,
like,
that voice was so weird. And like after a while, it grew on me a little bit, but it still stands out as, I don't know if I would have done that direction. But I think everybody else did a fine job. And yeah, like I like the direction they took the story. I think it was really smart to have certain characters and certain scenarios that they're in. But yeah, fantastic movie. Absolutely loved it.
Nicholas.
I enjoyed it. I think it was a little light on plot, and I think it was a little too heavy on the references to the original, or to any of the games for any mainstream viewer to really kind of connect with it. That's my only criticism of it. It's beautifully animated. It's short and it's very entertaining. And I think more often than not, the humor hit for me. But I do think that when you compare it to other movies of the same ilk, I'm thinking like your Lego Batman, I'm thinking any of your Pixar movies, I think it pales in comparison. And unfortunately, the question I have is, I know they're going to build this out. At a certain point, they're going to need to have a better plot for these Mario, for any of the movies in this universe than just Bowser's a bad guy. He wants the plot of the original Mario Brothers game, or Super Mario Brothers game. That having been said, super fun. I will agree with Blessing. I thought Chris Pratt did a great job. The mild New York accent the entire time was great. Charlie Day did a good job as Luigi. I thought the brother relationship was sort of the heart of the whole thing, and they pushed that just to where they needed to push it. But other than that, I ended up. I got about 30 minutes in. I was like, okay, I'm seeing where this is, and then it was over. I was like, okay, cool, that's great. That's what I want it to be. If it had been 30 minutes more, I think my review would have been a lot more negative on this thing because it would have started to linger. But I do want to give a shout out to Seth Rogen. I thought his Donkey Kong was that back and forth and that dynamic. I'm like, this is where the fun's really kicking up for me. They have a little bit of an antagonism toward each other. It's fun. They're learning to be friends. We're building the team out. That was good. So yeah, and again, can't. Me and Andy I was like, dude, this is so beautiful. Like when they were inside the whale and all the colors were out, I was like, Andy, the ray tracing. And he's like, I know, dude. I know. DLSS.
The freaking the Rainbow Road in the ocean as
was cool. Come on.
It looks. This movie is just insanely gorgeous. Yeah.
Go for it, Andy. What'd you think?
I had a great time with it. I think that I'm kind of aligned with everybody else where like I was kind of shocked at those critic scores, and I realized, well, maybe they don't have the nostalgia for the game that we do. But I think that this is like, I enjoyed this more than the Sonic movie. I enjoyed this more than the Mortal Kombat movie. I think that the music and the orchestral sort of moments of, hey, let's play these old Mario songs while we're watching the whole crew doing really, really fun stuff. And it looks gorgeous and it's animated insanely nice. And yeah, again, I agree with everybody. Chris Pratt, pretty dang good. I liked him. Thank you for
From the biggest hater of the one and only Jurassic World.
God.
Oh, worldies are here. The
Andy
worldies are here.
Cortez finally has to bow to me, leader of the worldies. How does it feel, you fucking peon, to be back
Stupid
begging
idiot.
for our forgiveness?
Doing
But
your
I
own
told you
shit.
we don't forgive. We don't
We don't
forget.
forget.
And then
It's the fact that he
Nick,
waited
shut
for
up.
Andy. Like both of us praised Chris Pratt. Greg in his mind, he's like, I know Andy's gonna.
I've never
I
heard
gotta
you
stick
talk
it to
shit
Andy.
about him, though, have you?
I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have.
Well, I don't pay attention when you speak.
I mean, I didn't say much. I don't know. Chris Pratt wasn't the problem with Jurassic World. The movie was the problem with Jurassic World.
Fallen Kingdom.
But anyway, yeah, I thought Chris Pratt was good. I thought Charlie Day was great. I probably liked Keegan-Michael Key the most. I know Nick was a little bit more negative on Toad's performance there.
Toad was the one step too far for me. I was like, this character does not need to be in this.
I thought Seth Rogen
But he had a
was
frying pan.
Great.
I thought Seth Rogen was okay. Like, I think all of the himbo jokes really landed with me. There was just, because this is Illumination, because this is definitely more of a kids movie with relying on a lot of slapstick was kind of my least favorite part of the movie, I'd say. In an ideal world, like, again, I still enjoy this. I still highly recommend you watching this in theaters just for the whole experience and spectacle of it all. But in an ideal world, like, if Lord and Miller could have worked on this, like, this would have been the perfect movie, because I think we would have had a lot more of that emotional resonance that we're looking for, like we had in the Lego movie, like in the Lego Batman movie, or like anything else that they've worked on. I just feel like more care is put into those characters, and like, how do we make you care about these 8-bit characters that you've seen that really haven't had much story going on with them? That's where I would have that's the only scenario where I think I would have enjoyed this movie more, but I thought it was a lot of fun. Goddamn, that little star bit,
Luma.
the Luma, freaking hysterical every time that little thing talked, and I think it's one of the writer's daughters or somebody's daughter. Just adorable, so much fun to see that brought to life in such a weird, grim way. And I wish we had more humor like that. Like, I wish that was kind of spliced in more. It was a blast. Highly recommend you go watch it.
Greg, you just saw it. Like, you're coming
I'm
hot off.
I'm hot off the
the
theater. That's where the popcorn comes from, Kevin. You're welcome. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I appreciate it when I pointed at. I'm at the Cinemark and I pointed and I want the large, right, which is the green bag that says large on it. And I said that.
Yeah.
She grabbed the big tin. She goes, "Do you want butter on it?" And I was like, "No." And she scooped it up and then she put butter on it. And then it cued in her head. I'm sorry, and I'm like, no, I was on the fence if I wanted butter. God made the choice. We're fine.
You want me to bring?
It's 9:30 in the morning. Who cares?
Yeah.
You want to bring
Twang.
pickle twang for you?
Yeah. Next, you need to just give me my own little
I
bottle.
have a fuckload at home. Yeah, I'll
I'll
bring
buy one.
some.
I'll buy
I
one.
want some. I want some for my house.
He'll never
$12
use it.
per
You know
bottle.
he'll never.
$12
$12 per bottle. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
Buy
2
them
for
on
20.
Amazon.
You get 2 for 20.
Timothy, I think
Yes.
It's a well-known thing, right? That I think the best children's things are the ones that can also entertain the adults, right? I go back to, of course, when I was a child and Nick was already in high school. But sure, Gremlins. I was gonna say Animaniacs, right? Where I remember Animaniacs was fun to watch. Tiny Toons was fun to watch. But I remember there was a Tiny Toons that did an entire parody of Pulp Fiction that I, of course, as a kid wouldn't get. I was just enjoying Tiny Toons, but my parents in the room could enjoy it as well. I think that's where, for me, the Mario movie fails, where it is this idea that it is gorgeous. The soundtrack is awesome. I think the performances are great. I don't have that Nintendo nostalgia. So I'm watching, the Punch-Out Cafe. Oh, Charles Martin. I see it and I respect it and I'm fine with it. But I was checking my watch a few times on it of how much is this going on and stuff. Not that it was bad. It's just a kid's movie. And I feel like we've already touched on a few times, I think, here. Stuff from Pixar. Ben loves the League of Super Pets with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And even Bluey, which is, of course, on another level. But children's things that, as an adult, I watch, I'm like, damn, this is fucking good as a story, or it's getting me choked up, or it's making me feel something, blah, blah, blah. Whereas this one didn't have that. This was just a kid's thing, which is totally fine. I think, we can talk about movies and review movies, whatever, that have a target audience in mind. And that's great. When Ben is old enough and wants to watch Super Mario, or, it's out on demand, and I'll put it on for him for sure. It's just, for me, I think I enjoyed the visuals. I fucking adored the music. They did such a great job with the music, right? And so many hype moments. And that's all of those pieces coming together. But for me, not even, I guess, the overall narrative. This felt like a collection of scenes in a lot of way. And sometimes they weren't even scenes of it's us talking. It's the scenes of, you get this. It's a training montage for how you'd go through this and this, that, and the other. And I was like, cool, fine. But it's one of those that I feel like even now is fleeting, where I'm not going to think about Super Mario outside of the music and the performances and the visuals again.
Seen this movie twice. Can't wait to see it a third time tomorrow in 40x, baby. It's
Oh,
gonna
shit.
be such a. You guys are all welcome
gonna
to join
throw
me.
coins
Bless.
at you.
Let's freaking do it. But yeah, I adore this as the Nintendo fan. Everything. I agree with every single thing you guys are saying. That is what this movie is. It's totally worth seeing. But it's barely a film when you look at it from a plot perspective of somebody that doesn't know Mario at all. Which at this point are very few people on this planet, right? Like we're 30 plus years into this. People know Mario. People have played at least a game, probably multiple games. But there are some people like Gia who hasn't, and she watched this movie and laughed a couple times, but was like, I don't get any of it. And this movie doesn't care. This movie is authentically a Mario movie. And I really kind of appreciate that because I think that so often we've seen things, even the good movies, like I love Sonic Blast. You know I love Sonic. I especially love Sonic 2. But Sonic 2 is more of a movie. It has a plot, it has characters, and that stuff distracts from what I'd want to see from a Sonic movie. And I appreciate that the Mario movie
When's
is
this
like,
motherfucker gonna run?
like here's a Mario movie. We're giving you that. We're giving you exactly that. And that works in some ways. It doesn't work in some others, but I think that it's so beautiful. I can't believe I'm seeing Mario look this good. I can't believe Mario sounds this good. The performances were fun. I think for the most part, they really hit. Fred Armisen's the one for me that I was like, a little weird.
And real quick, just to chime in on that, as somebody who has never ever fucking thought of the character persona of Cranky Kong, I was not at all taken out of it. I was like, oh, cool.
I mean, well, to me, I'm just like he's just an old guy, and I wanted it to sound like an old man. You know, like I don't really know if I've seen characterizations of Cranky Kong. I never really watched the cartoon, but I see that character and I expect like an old kind of creaky guy, and this guy was just like,
Like,
hey,
waving
I'm
a
fucking
cane at
Cranky
you.
Kong, and it's like, what the fuck, what's going on?
Like,
here?
how old are you?
Yeah, this movie to me kind of feels like when you do karaoke or you go to a karaoke spot and people are choosing songs, and there's always the try hard person, right? That like chooses a song that like no one knows, and then there's people that choose like, oh, that's a good pick, it's an offbeat pick. This is not that. This is people going and back to back singing In Sync and
Journey.
Britney Spears and Journey, and guess what? That means that no longer are you the performer. That means the entire room's the performer. Every single thing here, we know every single word. We know exactly what's going to come next. We get the tease of where are they going? They're going to this place. I know exactly what's going to happen here. We get the setup of the star. We know exactly what's going to happen. But they deliver, and it just works. And I think that the one thing that I kind of disagree with you guys about is the emotional resonance. I actually think that it's simple, but the connection between the brothers, like it's very surface level, but they commit to it so hard, and I believe in it so much. Go for it.
Oh, I want you to finish your statement.
Oh, just that I thought that there was a lot there, and it was a very simple setup execution to it. But I think connecting them to their family and to their dad and how their dad treats them, and then also Donkey Kong and his dad and how Mario and Donkey Kong related on that. I didn't even expect to get that level of emotional resonance and like character. I don't want to say growth, but like character to these guys. So I appreciated that for what otherwise is an Illumination movie. It is not Pixar. It is not even DreamWorks. It's Illumination, and they've had some good moments. But I don't even necessarily say that as a criticism because the Illumination stuff that I would have thought I wouldn't like. Like, look, here we are, the 5th movie in 2023 using Holding Out for a Hero. It fucking works, though. And Thunderstruck, it fucking works. Did I ever expect to hear those in a Mario movie? Definitely not. But that's the Illumination side of it. And that also brought us the dog scene, which is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. And I will say in both screenings, people laughed throughout this entire movie. And I think that both kids for sure, but like this got the real Nick laugh multiple times.
Oh, that dog scene was, was genius.
The dog and the Luma, like Nick was like hard Nick laughing. And I think that's really telling. Having said that, there's multiple cringy lines. There's multiple eye rolls. There's weird things where like the 2 lines that for some reason can't get out of my head are Seth Rogen's "It's on like Donkey Kong" just does not work. And they should have used a different line read of it. And
It's on like me.
And Toad, like Princess Peach saves him and he goes, now that's what I call princessing or whatever. What the fuck? But honestly, besides that, I'm great.
I wanted to when I raised my hand, it was just chiming in to both agree with you, I think, and disagree because I think you were downplaying it a bit. Like, again, to the collection of scenes thing, I don't think they had a great narrative backbone for some of the stuff they're doing. But when Mario and Luigi get reunited on that walkway and they hug, and he's like, see, I told you we could do anything together, whatever he says. I got teared up. I'm like, oh, that's a really sweet moment. That's really well done in this collection of scenes.
And like I said, those are all the things I liked about it. Right? I like the Mario moment with the dog. The reason that works is because it's 2 brothers starting a business trying to figure this out. You know they're going to fail. The dog was hilarious. Genius, the dog. But and that was great world building too. It's just kind of when we start, it's the middle part where we're really relying heavily on the sort of nostalgia and the references, and the plot starts to just kind of like bottom out a little bit. I think that's when they start relying. It just doesn't go to back up those B story plots and those relationships with the characters so much. By the end, it came back up for me, and by the time we hit the climax, I was like, this is fun. It didn't quite hit for me on the level that it should have. Them reuniting at the end there, because A, they didn't spend too much time in the middle there, and B, I just think the overall plot fell so flat for me with Bowser that it didn't support that emotion that I wanted with the two characters coming through.
See, I think one of the things that I recognized in the moment, again with the collections of scenes bit, like for me, you know, Mario and Donkey Kong having, my dad thinks I'm a failure, mine too, or whatever. I was like, that's so surface level, and they've done the one thing to do it, and I haven't heard Mario blah blah blah. Like I was like, nah, I don't like that much. It was the thing that I think art does really well, right? Where when they came together, nothing we can do together, right? It choked me up, not so much because of how attached to Mario and Luigi I was, but as much as projecting myself onto it in my relationships and things like that. You know, you and me, of course. There's nothing we can't do together. Come here, assholes.
stick together.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're between two assholes, bless.
Sorry, blessing.
Why isn't he on the show more?
I wanted to. I think when we got to certain parts of the movie where we see that one toadstool dude who's like the general, the army guy.
Oh my
He's
God.
Like, we need to push forward. You know, the Kong nation is gonna like all that stuff. I thought that's where like this is where they're going to include the more adult humor, and I thought we were going to get more of a Game of Thrones sort of parody type thing where they go towards a Kong nation. We need to unite all these armies against this thing. And I feel like that was an opportunity that was a little bit missed, because I enjoyed that general dude. I wanted more of him, like just being super serious, and the juxtaposition of a cute little toad guy, but he's got glasses, and he's got such a deep commander-like voice. I wish that there was more of a. Not only do we got to get the Kong Nation, we need to get obviously there's spoilers. They're saving Yoshi and all that for another thing, but I would have loved a gathering of things and kind of like. Oh, this is for, like you were talking about Pulp Fiction. This is for the adults out there.
Yeah.
They'll enjoy the Game of Thrones sort of references here of uniting nations.
And as much as I loved, and I do love the Luma, right? And I thought it was interesting how, this is a kid's movie, and that's totally cool and fine. And then the amount of times, you're going to die. This is about death. Luma, damn, this is like the only like serious shit happening.
You could tell they were like, we need a couple things for the adults in the audience to resonate with. The problem is like, you either got to kind of have a lot more of that, peppered throughout the show, or just tone it down a little. Because every time we came back to that, I was like, the gap between the kid stuff and then the really adult stuff is really wide with that. I laughed my ass off every single time that happened, but it did leave me going, hey, how come this level of adult humor is not in the rest of this movie? And obviously, because it's a Mario movie, you don't necessarily need
we had
it there.
the peck dance, so that was pretty great.
The peck dance, and then the line where he's like, you can do the peck dance, and he goes, I'll do it later, Dad. But that stuff was great. All that stuff, it worked for me. It's just, you go back and you watch like a Lego Batman, and it's so aware of what the audience is going. It's for adults, but it's just that shift in filmmaking, right? Where it's like, are we making an adult film that the kids are gonna love because it's the characters they know, but it's really an adult film, or are we swapping it? And this one's just swapped. It's just how it is. But nothing wrong with that. Again, it's a kid's film.
Oh yeah, for
it's
sure.
fun. It's beautiful. I enjoyed it sitting through it for an hour and a half.
And like I will say, as somebody that like is a Mario hardcore, Mario's probably
like
my
Mario?
I know it's crazy, but probably my favorite franchise to a point that like I've beaten 100%ed every game multiple times throughout my life, and the amount of love that they put not just to like a poster in the background, because I feel like that's Ready Player One. Ready Player One is let's just get a lot of shit together and it's here together. That's it. That's not what this movie is. This movie is there is stuff in the background. You're getting the duck and you're getting the punch out, all that. But it's like the way Mario moves, the way Mario and Luigi, their animation.
Dude, when they start running and they put their arms back,
the amount of references to that's his jump from Sunshine.
The attacks,
that's
down.
his jump from Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's his jump from 64. Like
The
all of
cartwheel
those,
flip.
all of it, man. It's
Dude,
like
when they showed Baby Mario and Baby Luigi,
God.
that's
Dude,
great. I didn't see that coming.
really great use of what we know. I don't think it's just nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. It's like that's the point of what this movie is. It's like actually being authentically Mario, and I feel like that's where Sonic shined in moments, and then otherwise it was it's Sonic in real life, which is this weird thing. Whereas with this, it's like the amount of the 2D platforming things, it felt great. Like it felt not like, oh man, we're doing this now. It's like they did a good job with it where it felt like this is what we should be doing with a Mario movie and with the way that these characters are interacting and having the Mario Kart stuff on Rainbow Road and them doing the drifts and getting the boosts and doing the shortcut. Like
God.
all of that stuff, it's like no one that doesn't know Mario will enjoy this. I fucking know Mario so well and they are nailing it.
Yeah, and for me that's why it worked on the adult side, right? Coming in is like a lot of kids aren't going to know those references, like the deep Mario references that they're making in the movies. And so like for us, I think going in, as soon as they had the moment early on in the movie where they shift to 2D and they're doing the 2D platforming with Mario and Luigi, I'm like, oh, let's freaking go.
And real quick, Bless, just to triple down on how sick that was. That's right when they're in Brooklyn. It's a recreation of 1-1. Like it's like
Yes, I told you.
using
Kevin turned to me and I
like,
was like, I don't think it is.
the blocks and stuff from like that are like the ventilators and things like that, ventilation like fans and stuff on the side of the building. It's like it's the first level of Mario. Not completely. They change it up at some point, but then when they go down,
one,
you
two
hear
in the
the one.
background.
You see the level 1, 2 in the back. The music plays like that stuff's so good. But continue.
But yeah, no, I mean all the stuff like that, right? Like when you're going, the way they move, the way they run, the obstacle. Was that you? Oh, I had to pause for a second.
Pause the game.
But yeah, like when they do the
Boston, hear from our sponsors.
when they do the Peaches obstacle course, right? And you have the disappearing platforms and the tubes and the piranha plants and all this stuff. Every single reference for me worked as somebody who's grown up with Mario, right? And so I go in and I do feel like I'm getting that value on I'm going in as an adult watching this from all the references, from all those things, and they don't just feel superfluous. It doesn't feel like they're just throwing that stuff out in the Ready Player One way. I think for me, the exciting thing watching this movie is the idea of, again, Mario being very loose and thin in plot in the games, right? Like Super Mario Brothers, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, this is a guy running around a world with small mushrooms that you run into and fucking die. Like,
It's a nightmare world for him.
it's a nightmare world that this guy lives in. And so, like, seeing the Mario movie translate that stuff and go, how do we fill in the gaps? How do we make this make sense? What is the Mario story that we've crafted in our heads over the decades of Mario being a thing and delivering that? For me, that's what brought the depth on the adult side, right? Meanwhile, still having the humor and the fun parts that are going to make it fun as a kids movie, right? And it is focused as a kids movie, but I think having that stuff worked for me as like I'm still getting my fill here. And of course, that's not going to work for everybody. Like if you're not a Mario person going into it, but then also I'm like, oh, is this movie going to be for adults who don't care about Mario?
Well,
I don't think so.
I think the trick though is like there is an alternate version of this where they skate that line where they do. See, I think for me, it's like the hard thing is I'm watching this, I get all the references, but it doesn't feel like they're drawing me into the magic of discovery like you should for an animated movie, right? And like I'm for whatever reason sticking out my brain is Inside Out right now, where they teach you this very heavy thing, but you feel like you're in this fantastical world and you're discovering that with the characters. And in this, I felt like they were like, hey, remember that reference? I'm like, I do. And they're like, here it is, which obviously is what they were for. But I wish they had found a way to skate the line of, because the magic, I guess, what's the kingdom called? Not the
Mushroom
magic.
Kingdom.
Mushroom Kingdom. I was going to say Magic Kingdom. Disney. That felt like, oh, we're just going to present to you a lot of stuff that you already know. But if I were a person who wasn't necessarily familiar with that, would that have been magical to me? Would I feel like, oh my God, this is a world I want to come back and re-explore? Probably not. I'd be like, all right, this is some stuff I don't understand what's going on here. So I feel like I feel like a lot of this was they were just like, we're just going to commit. This is for Mario fans. This is for Nintendo fans.
Thank you.
Finally. And I think largely it's because the folks over at Nintendo were like, boy, we missed the mark so bad in '93. And this is the second time we got a chance at this. Let's just make it for the fans. And then build the world. And then the question is, what are they going to do with the next ones? Because I honestly feel there's like set up for 3 different types of movie in this.
Oh, yeah.
They could legit make a Mario Kart movie. And it's just about kart racing. He has to go back to win a race or whatever it is, right? It's, or it could be a Smash Bros. Movie where there's a big tournament of champions that come in. All that stuff
we're
could be in
getting
there.
that.
We're laying the foundation for all
We're getting it all, baby.
There's a line, and it's awkwardly delivered, where I believe it was Peach being like, and there's
so many
there's
galaxies
galaxies
out
out there. And then like I'm like, why the fuck did you say that? Like, where'd that come
So
from?
Tim would go, there was a game called Super Mario Galaxy.
That line was so out of nowhere.
It was out of nowhere,
and there
weird.
was no response either. It felt like they forgot the line that preceded that, or forgot the line that was after it.
Yeah, it was so very obvious.
think-
We're referencing a thing, and maybe if you like this movie, we'll make a Mario Galaxy movie.
Well, don't you think? I mean, my thought of where the next movie will go, I think it'll toss in everything you're talking about, but it'll be about trying to find Peach's family, right?
Sure.
I feel like that was
Is that
the
a
thing,
thing?
right?
Oh, you
Like,
mean finding in the real world?
yeah.
Maybe.
Is she really from the real world? It's a warp pipe she walks through, and it walked through the same with Mario did, but maybe there's a bunch of
I
stuff
don't
going on there.
Good question. I want to talk about Bowser for a second, and specifically.
Jack Black.
We're gonna get into the plot. You want?
Peaches,
Let's wait till we get there. You down for that, Nick?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, because we're gonna get to the plot after a word from our sponsors. Shout out to Evil Dead Rise for sponsoring this episode. You can get your tickets now to see Evil Dead Rise in theaters April 21st. People are saying this movie is absolutely terrifying, and I personally can't wait to see it in a theater because there's few things in life are as special as watching a real scary horror movie surrounded by people freaking out with you. Moving the action out of the woods and into the city, Evil Dead Rise tells a twisted tale of two estranged sisters played by Sullivan and Sutherland, whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, if I had a nickel, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. New Line Cinema and Renaissance Pictures present a return to the iconic horror franchise, and we are hitting entirely new levels of fear here with this one. I don't know if you've seen the trailers for this, but wow, you definitely should. You look like you need a little bit of fear in your life. And then you can go to EvilDeadRiseMovie.com to get your tickets now to see Evil Dead Rise in theaters April 21st. Shout out to Shady Rays for sponsoring this episode. Do you want to look as cool as I look? Yes, you do. And you can. You can take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an unbeatable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair that I've ever worn in my life. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. You can wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Exclusively for you listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com and use the code KindaFunny. You can get 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. You can try for yourself the shades that are rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Promo code KindaFunny at shadyrays.com.
Plot.
Wow.
Boo.
I've heard this man practicing for hours.
I know,
Every
right?
Mario song I've ever heard.
Those are all going to
Okay.
be interspersed. You're the...
Okay.
Is that when we run out of time? We gotta go fast.
Yeah.
All right, give me another Coke and I'll go invincible. Welcome to the Super Mario Brothers movie, everybody. You won't get the title card till the end. So here we are, and let's just put the bees in the bonnet. All right, Tim, you've been
Is that a saying?
my biggest detractor
All the bees in the bonnet.
for every fucking episode of In Review, and you always try to note me to death. I'm not gonna call anybody what they're called. All right, I don't care. All right. I don't care what the planet's called. I don't care what world I'm in, all right? So we're in some fucking snow globe world, and there's a bunch of penguins that
Before
live
we
there,
even
all right?
get that,
Nah, Jesus fucking Christ.
we get the fucking Nintendo love.
Oh my
Oh my God.
We get all
That
that,
was cool.
stuff.
That
I'm
was
just like-
cool.
I just love. I
Nintendo
love
treatment.
seeing
Bring
the
in the Nintendo
Pokemon stuff. I
Cinematic
love
Universe.
seeing the Sega stuff for Sonic. It just feels cool. Feels like we did it.
Feels
y'all.
official.
We did.
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
y'all. Yeah.
On a big screen.
Like, this will be the first of many times we see this.
Yes.
You know?
I hope so.
Nintendo
Continue.
doesn't make one
Metroid
more
movie.
movie after
Metroid
this.
movie.
That's the end of that. If they
That's
made
a
it,
Zelda movie.
you think they'll make a Metroid?
We're
movie?
gonna get a Zelda movie 1000.
Zelda for sure. Zelda for sure.
And I hope
Yeah.
they make a Metroid. I want this to build to Smash.
It's a snow planet and it's real cold, but guess what's rolling in? It's Bowser, aka King Koopa's floating kingdom thing, and it's coming in and it's got a bunch of fire and it's melting shit or whatever. And so then they open the doors when they come down, and then all the turtles come out, and these are the Koopas, and there's a bunch of different ones. There's a green one, and there's a red one, there's a blue one, and then you got I don't know
How many
if-
more colors?
Well, Dry Bones isn't
Oh my
there. He's
God.
over in
Nah,
he's in the dark
you know,
area.
No
He's in the dark
Dragons
area.
yet.
And so, oh God, what's gonna happen, right? And so King Koopa comes down, he's like, yo, I'm Bowser, what's up, y'all? And then there's an ice castle over there, and that door opens, and a bunch of penguins come out, but they looked big at first, but
They're
they're
so
not big.
cute.
And
Love
they
it.
go, are you gonna, get the fuck off my front porch? And he's like, not on your life, chief. And so they all
Voiced
throw.
by Kari Payton,
Oh, okay.
the
Ezekiel,
Ezekiel, the Tiger King from Walking Dead.
Cyborg from Teen Titans.
Yes.
Different type.
They
of-
throw a bunch of snowballs in like a little ice block, but nothing hurts them. You know what I mean? And like, that ain't gonna be that's not gonna be it. And so then, Bowser turns to his old magician friend Camelback. You know him well. And Camelback, he sucks everybody up with a wand and moves them over. And they're like, oh man, I'm getting sucked up in a
That's
wand.
his name?
Hammock.
Back, Camelback.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Like the thing you drink of when you go work out.
The thing you drink of when you
Like
go
this.
work out.
Camelback.
Nick, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Yeah.
locked in with Greg. I know exactly.
Thank you, buddy.
Locked in with Greg.
So then
Camelback.
they're like, okay,
You
you know,
shut up over there.
We're in the first game. I'm already lost.
Bowser just lights this place up with some fire breath, right? Blessing, what's it look like when he's done?
I don't know. What does it look like?
April 19th, 1995, the Oklahoma City bombing.
my
This thing
God.
is like, I'm surprised they went there in a Nintendo movie because this is almost a shot-for-shot recreation. Everybody, if you have the bootleg copy, go ahead and screenshot that and put that up next to
Was
that.
that McVeigh? Who did that?
That was Timothy
Yeah,
McVeigh.
Timothy
Yeah,
McVeigh,
he was bad guy.
He was
Did
not
you
good.
flamethrower the
Do you
place?
know that
I don't know.
like the Waco, Texas whole thing?
Yeah.
I just watched a documentary on Netflix about that. They say influenced Timothy McVeigh too. I forgot. I didn't know.
This RaGu
Yeah.
BaGu's
Yeah.
about to be ridiculous.
Anyways, though, guess what he finds in there? It's a big old star. You might remember these from Mario. Now, when I saw this star, I thought it was like a star like we collected in 64.
It is.
Okay.
But they refer to this as a superstar.
Sure.
Which,
Yeah.
like, there's been games called Superstar, like Mario and Luigi, Superstar Sun.
Sure.
But yeah, this is a new take on.
Okay, just making
the
sure I
star,
wasn't.
But
wrong.
it is the design for Mario 64.
He gets it and he's like, "Yo, now that I have this, no one in the entire fucking galaxies can stop me." And then what do we get? We get the cool song, "Super Mario Brothers Implements a game, found a secret warm zone while working on the drain." Come on, you gotta fucking play that. Gonna hang me out to dry on that. Thank you.
This should work great. I love
Amazing.
that they brought this in from the Mario Super Show and just it being a commercial, the shitty green screen, like
Yeah.
just,
Them
I
on
think they
the on,
nailed this bit.
on the
capes?
stools
Yeah.
and the capes going
But
very
you could,
cute.
yeah, but again, like the green screen bleeding on them
Yeah.
because it wasn't perfectly keyed out is the best detail.
Such a great
So
public
great
access
little
TV
detail,
show.
yeah.
Right.
Before we get that though, I want to touch on the star as like sort of. I was assuming this would be more of a MacGuffin, as in Mario and Peach, and like they got to put the team together to go get the star to beat Bowser. Him having the star the entire time, I thought was like kind of a wasted opportunity. Truth be told, we'll move on.
Fair enough. So yeah,
That's bringing legit film criticism over here.
I know, right?
Well, it goes to why I think the plot sort of suffers a little bit is because like the whole Bowser. We can talk about motivations here. Are paper thin. It
Sure.
doesn't make a lot of sense. And what they have to do to overcome Bowser is weird. I wanted a little bit more of an adventure of like we got to find Luigi because Luigi's like we got to team up together to climb the mountain to beat the thing to get the star, and then all of us together can beat Bowser. But Bowser having the star to begin with, I'm just like. So your motivation is you're going to take the star to someone who you know doesn't like you. As an audience member, you're like, it's not believable at all that Princess Peach is going
he
to
just wants love, man. He just
care?
wanted some love.
But Nick, on the flip side, peaches, 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 peaches. But like
Just so
for a
like,
while, I
just
thought
so
he was saying bitches. Like it sounds like he was going
I didn't know
bitches,
he's not.
bitches, bitches, bitches.
The funniest thing about this to me is that years ago, G tried playing Mario World for the first time, and I was trying to explain it to her, and she, for some reason, couldn't get Peaches out of her head. Like, anytime I'm like, what are the character names? She goes, Peaches. I'm like, you're the only person in history that adds the S to Peaches. And then when Jack Black starts doing it, she just looked at me. She goes, all right, me and Jack Black. Do you think that was written, or do you think Jack Black was just like, I'm calling her Peaches, and like, because it's not just the song. Throughout the whole movie, he's calling her Peaches.
I think that they let Jack Black go,
Just
and
go.
he gave him some magic.
Find the character of Bowser.
He did, and I think that I love Jack Black, and I just love when Jack Black gets to do whatever Jack Black
Yeah, of
wants
course.
to do. And in this, obviously, had to be a little more reserved because it's like you can't just let him improv for 55 minutes and then animate that. It's going to cost another $100 million. But I will say, I was like, I could have used maybe 20% more Jack Black in this as opposed to the Bowser that he gave me.
Sure, fair enough.
I'll
I
throw
like
that
that.
out there.
I like that. I
Wait,
agree with
so you
that.
wanted Bowser to be more Jack Black?
You got Jack Black. You know what I mean? Jack Black's in the car. Let him drive occasionally. Don't put him in the back seat.
No, that's a great point.
I felt like he was so Jack Black.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like I got
just-
so much
It
Jack
just sounded
Black
like
out
a
of him.
deeper voice Jack Black. to
Yeah.
me. Yeah. I just thought.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I just wanted it to be a little bit closer to his normal tone and timbre. It's just one of those things where like every time I see him and stuff when he's in like a Jumanji or he's in
Camelback.
he's just such a great
You're
supporting actor, and I just don't think they gave him like I don't know. He didn't really share a scene with it.
I got a
Like
show
us.
to talk to you about later.
show?
Jack Black shows up in it, and you are not going to believe it.
Is
Continue,
it
Greg.
Succession?
Does he not know?
No, he doesn't know.
Oh.
I don't want to spoil it here for people that might not know.
Sure, of course.
Is it The Last
Keep
of Us?
going.
Is he one of the mushroom guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Toadstool.
That'd be awesome, actually. Anyways, yeah, so it's the commercial. They pop out of the commercial, which is very funny. And it's Mario and Luigi at the Punch-Out Pizzeria watching this. It's got all the posters or the photos of the Punch-Out people and the belts and the color scheme. And they're watching, like, we did it. We made a commercial. They did the whole accents in there, right? Do you think the accents were too much or whatever? And then Charles Martinet is playing Jumpman, which, of course, is Mario. And then he's dressed as the original Mario. And Jumpman turns on and does the regular Mario voice we all know from Nintendo and says, "It's a fine," or whatever. Great. And they talk a little about it, and they start walking out, and then Spike's there, and he's from the Wrecking Brothers or some shit like that.
The Wrecking Crew, which is an OG NES game.
Okay.
And Mario was in it. Mario was like background character in like a lot of the old games like tennis and golf and all that shit. Wrecking Crew is one of them. There's a Wrecking Crew stage in Smash Brothers, and Spike is like the main character in that. And then we get the next scene with the family and stuff that's saying that they were working for the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah. Well, he says it right there.
Yeah.
I mean, Spike says that before that you didn't have to jump at the plot. You didn't have to skip my segments.
Quick question. What was the name of the pizza place?
Punch Out.
Punch Out. And like, I really liked it that it had all the bosses, right? Like all the people you fight in Punch Out.
Yeah, all the fighters, all the
So
color
cool.
scheme.
The Ducks.
Spike gives them shit for quitting the Wrecking Crew and starting their own thing, and they haven't gotten one call. And Luigi says, "Yes, we did. Our mom called to congratulate us or whatever." Then his phone makes a noise. They drop it, and it breaks. And then he's got the cool noise when Spike leaves or whatever. Because Mario steps up to try to defend him. Phone rings. It is in fact a job. They got one like Ghostbusters, and so they run out there and they jump in their little Super Mario
thought you were
car.
gonna love that.
Thank you very much. And it sputters out and it can't go. It's just dead in the street. You know what I mean? Like one of Kevin's cars. And so they climb out of it and they're like, "Well, now we'll just run to the job. We'll run to the job."
One of your 3
What,
cars.
what are you coming at? I have two.
You had 3 for a while, remember?
Kevin's cars work perfectly. They just don't have brakes.
Hey, whoa, all right, chill out. Chill out. I don't like this.
Am I wrong? You're gonna look at me and tell me I'm wrong?
Yeah.
No, not
wrong.
you, Kevin. Kevin, that was a joke at your expense. I apologize.
uh-huh.
Sometimes I have a Coke and I just start swinging wildly.
He does. He starts haymaker.
Got this man looking over here at April 19th, 1995, telling me it ain't the fucking exact same scene. Am I wrong?
There's a lot of similarities.
Camera,
what?
all
It's
we have
wild
so
that it
many,
does, in
Andy,
fact,
we have
look
so
like
many
it.
talented
Why does he know
Photoshop
that,
people.
though?
Take it and put the star right there, and it's the same fucking thing. All
You
right?
know how national tragedies just look, just in your head.
Because I don't know if you know this, but I'm a historian. All right, I listen to NPR. What do you want to know about this Trump trial? I'll tell you everything you
I'll
need
tell
to
you
know.
what, Greg gets one soda and his eyes get.
And I'm thinking about having another one. I'm
get
thinking
wet
about having
again.
another one.
That's
Don't worry
enough.
about
That's
it.
enough for you, Greg.
Kevin, can I have another soda?
Yeah, do you really want one?
Soda.
The Wicked Witch laugh is my favorite thing you did.
Anyways, where the fuck are we?
They
So-
get out of the van because it's spun.
Right, so then they go into the first. Oh, did you see that? So, anyways, yeah, they start running the 2D like you were talking about. It's a recreation of World War I. It's very cute. They get to the very end where it's Castle Burger, and they jump and hit the flagpole, and it's very neat. Oh,
And
yeah,
it's just
thank you very
fucking
much.
good.
Give me the first hit. I like when you break it in.
Pour it in his mouth, pour it in his mouth a little bit. Here we go.
He's such a champ.
Nectar of the gods. You know what I mean? Well, it's kind of like when you go somewhere and they wash your hair. Like, that's not normal, right? You don't get that a lot. So it's a fucking special. All right?
Yeah.
Anyways, the castle. It's a thing from Mario.
Yes, it is. We get the music, the flagpole music at the level clear.
Yes.
Anyways, then they make it to the very nice building. Mm-hmm. I assume you'll tell me what the numbers mean. It's like 235 or some shit.
They're walking. Well, the number two.
Like the address I
How
thought
many
was
Wii U's
some
they
kind
sold?
Yeah, exactly. Give this man a Coke and baby burn it to him.
Damn,
They
that
were
was
playing
rough.
music. I think here was Mario 3, like a nice little piano jazz version of some stuff. And as they're walking up the stairs, like the art on the wall is like the tile chart from different Mario games. So it's like just like the grass hills and stuff, but like it looks like fancy art.
It looks like fancy
Enough
art,
that I was like,
there's a
I might
crown in
get
there.
that for my house. That's pretty classy looking.
Wow, look at you.
So, yeah. So,
Okay,
that was
so
fun.
these people have just a drippy faucet, which even I, as a complete moron, just knows you need a new washer in there. You know what I mean? And then they do.
Look at this kid. He got it. That's
Am
it.
I
That's
wrong,
all you
Kev?
need. That's
You know
all
what I
you
mean?
need. You
It's a
got
fucking
it.
wa-
But these fucking people, all right? All they know how to do is read the New Republic, all right? They're not out there actually, you know what I mean? They're the hoity-toity high-class New Yorkers. They're the, all right? They're the people live in secession, all right?
Oh, okay.
They're not working class like Mario and Ouija out here, all right? So anyways, they get up there and they're like, this is an easy, they piss off the dog by breaking the bone or whatever, right?
This fucking dog. Now look, when we see the dog for the first time, I'm like, this is the wedding in Sonic 2. We don't need that. I want Mario
This could be
characters.
bad.
I don't want this fucking
You
Secret
think they're
Life
gonna
of
kiss
Pets
him? You think
Illumination dog.
They're gonna kiss this dog.
And then this dog steps on the bone. The way the dog looks, every facial thing this dog does, I was like, give this thing a fucking
It's
Oscar,
hilarious.
man.
Yeah.
Love the dog.
So they break the bone, but they go in there and they fix it in 2 seconds. Bada bing, bada boom. And like these fucking hoity-toities reading their New Yorker downstairs with their fine art, right? And this is what you got to worry about. If you put this up in your house, you become a fine art person, Tim. All right? Be careful, okay? Keep it to your tone deaf references on your wall. Leave it at that.
I'll do that.
Anyways, though, they like, don't mess up the, be clean or whatever. And they're like, oh man, because we're Italians, you think we're gonna be messy? It was really fucking tense there with some racial stuff, but they get out of it pretty quick.
Was it?
I don't remember that scene. You see the extended version or what?
Super Mario Brothers movie, the
My
Ultimate
theater
Edition.
showed a very different movie.
Anyways, though, then this dog comes in. He's ready to fucking
Greg
kill
watched
Luigi.
Goodfellas instead.
He's ready to kill Luigi, so a fight ensues.
Him walking in, slamming the door with his back leg.
Yeah,
It was fucking. Nick's dying.
yeah. It was a funny bit.
It was a great bit.
They go through, they trash the whole place. The dog goes out the window. They catch it. They keep it alive.
Him, the water filling in the
And just, like,
shower, and
going
he's just
toward
like
him.
slowly going up. It's fucking great.
Masterclass in facial animation.
I was gonna say smiling like Jaws as he came up
Yeah.
right with the water. Again, they don't kill him though, sadly. Instead, the people come in, they see the place trash, like, oh, you fucking suck.
You're getting a bad
And we got to
kill.
cut out of there, right? We're just done. And so from there, I think we're back home, right? We walk home, right? Because this is where you get a bunch of references. No, this is when they were running. There was a great moment in the first like 5-10 minutes of this film where I'm like, God, this is Brian Altano's dream.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's a great Mario movie. It looks beautiful. They're running to the Beastie Boys. They're running through New York. They're doing all this different stuff. Like, God bless you, Brian Altano. Taking too soon.
Eating a pizza.
So yeah, and there's some pizza pies in there. Anyways, then we go to the family house, right?
Altano's still alive.
Shit, really?
Yep.
This is like when Hulk Hogan thought Bam Margera died. You remember that, Tim? You remember that?
Are you Hulk Hogan in this situation?
I remember. Yeah, but less racist. You know what I mean? Anyways,
I remember.
Bam responded to the tweet. I'm still alive.
Kevin Holt
You
tweeted
guys-
out
you
like, I
guys-
miss you,
but,
brother,
like-
forever.
But like it's coming, right? Come on.
Oh, no, Kevin. That's
living
Kevin.
great life.
That
Damn,
fucking
man.
takes
Bam,
it too
bam,
far.
bam.
There's the
Tough
line
but
right
fair.
here. What's acceptable?
fair. He's
Oklahoma
fair.
City references.
Jesus Christ. National bombings. Bam, it's not too late. You
Turn it
can turn
around.
your life around.
Is Bam watching?
He's doing better.
a lot
He's
better.
reconciled with them, right?
Which
a
one's the
lot
one with the fake teeth? Is that Steve-O?
Didn't he-
I say we move on.
No, it's the other one.
Move on, yeah.
He poops himself.
What?
The guy with the fake teeth who poops himself. You know what I'm talking about. They're at dinner. They're at dinner with the family, right? Where's all the family? I know I've seen the dad before with his weird, like, I'm some kind of Lord of the Rings guy who has a hammer. He's got a mustache and he's got a very distinct look. Have I seen this
Gandalf?
father before in like an instruction manual or some shit?
I didn't recognize any of the family members.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if there was some deep cut Nintendo
Not
reference
that
I
I know
missed.
of, no.
Okay.
I thought we were gonna get one of Manon's dad from Link's Awakening. Remember how her dad looks just
Looks
like
like
Mario?
him, yeah.
I thought we were gonna get one of those little references.
Real quick, did it bother anyone else that like they both acted like Mario and Luigi were like younger? Like they kind of treated them like they were like very early 20s, maybe even late teens age.
They're
They're
just the
actually
youngest.
14.
There's the
They're
youngest
14.
kids, right?
But they're also like a weird height. Where if like they didn't have the mustache, I'd be like, okay, yeah, they're not fully grown yet.
There was one kid that was like 8 at the table.
I'm with Kevin on this. It was weird that they were like, "Hey, my fully grown adult male children, I'm going to treat you like you're a high school kid." That was a little weird
Yeah,
vibe.
and like I kind of feel like it's like a Tully agenda thing.
Kevin, I don't think you understand how quickly Italians grow mustaches when they're young, though.
Well,
Did anyone else think it was weird too? They were eating pasta but no red sauce.
No, it's not Alfredo. It's a very East Coast thing.
Also, I'm not sure why.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm aware that pasta without red sauce exists. I'm just okay. Just
Maybe that was
to
just
make
like,
sure.
you know, like,
these
when your mom
morons
makes
in the
pasta-
chat over here are gonna come at me real quick. Be like, "I never heard of this. You never heard of a good shrimp scampi?" Like, get out of
Well,
here.
it would have been weird to have the mushrooms. The mushrooms wouldn't read on the red. They needed it to be like the white sauce so that the
You can
mushrooms
put
could pop
mushrooms.
a
You
little more.
mushrooms are in the
Yeah,
sauce.
I mean visually for the joke, because the whole point of this was to set up the point, like, well, tell a story, but also set up the little nod or he doesn't like mushrooms. You can't see a brown mushroom being picked off of
I
a deep
guarantee,
red sauce.
like with the level of detail this movie had, you could have figured it out. You would have seen it.
As a director myself, I give Andy full creative control.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
Because here's speaking of the which, if I were full creative control,
Yeah.
I don't know why Cameron fucking Kennedy made me, Blessing, and Nick short little guys.
I'm glad
in the
somebody's
intro.
mentioning this
The
'cause I
only-
saw that too.
Thank you.
The only
That's so
tall ones
fucked up.
are
Kevin,
me,
play
Cool
the
Greg,
intro
and
again.
Greg.
Play the intro again.
Oh, I didn't get to watch it. Do you really want me to play?
Yeah. What? I mean, we all got 5 seconds
Cameron
to burn.
Kennedy made the intro for audio listeners. You
Wait,
need to
hold
watch
on,
this
let me-
intro. It's incredible. Cameron Kennedy and
You know
Carter
what?
Harrell.
Nobody talk to me 1 second.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, let me bring it into here, and then I can pause it. Sorry.
While you do that, yeah, they all shit on Mario and Luigi. Not only are they shitting on Mario, they're eating all of Luigi's food. Like, they won't let Luigi eat. So back to your point that like it's weird that they're like, smaller than the rest. They're just malnourished. All these other people are eating their food. The dad's a complete dick and eventually sends Mario to his room where he goes and plays Don't Tell Me Kid Icarus.
Yeah, there
He
you
goes
go.
and plays some Kid
Howdy.
Icarus in there or whatever. Well, I mean, it said, I guess I just knew who Kid Icarus is. Then, Luigi comes in. He's got, I got this pasta with some fucking no mushrooms on it because you don't like mushrooms, which is weird. You know what I mean? I hate people with
I don't
weird
like mushrooms either.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
I don't like
There it
mushrooms
is.
either.
Yeah.
But I would have, again, if I'm full creative control, Nick, I would have made a joke about, like, it's a texture thing for me. Where Chris Pratt's like, I can't eat this. I don't like texture. It's the weird kind of slimy.
I
Okay,
get
so this is it here?
Get it.
Hold on, real quick, can you go back to the first scene? Because I love the Cameron Kennedy, always with the Easter eggs. We have Andy's Stream Mario wanted for his
hate it.
crimes.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that.
So good.
Oh my God.
So this is you, Tim, right?
That
in
is
blue,
me.
obviously.
That is
Fine.
me.
Okay.
Running with the arms out.
Sure.
Running
That
in.
is amazing.
So then here we go.
Go for it. Left
You
to
got-
right, Greg.
So left, then I guess that's
Altano, right?
Yeah, is it Altano? I don't
That's
know.
cool, Greg.
Cool, Greg.
That's
Oh, it's
cool,
cool,
Greg.
Greg. It looks like
With the
like-
5 o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock
No,
shadow.
you said left. I thought.
Yeah, left. That's cool, Greg.
Right's Mike.
How about you just read it to me?
Left,
Who the fuck
the left is Cool Greg. You can see what the, of course, he always has the hat on.
Does he
Cool
have a
Greg
5
hat.
o'clock shadow?
Cool Greg, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Andy and Nick
Sure,
next to
understand.
each
It's just,
other, which is
it's bullshit.
I don't get it.
I don't
understand
understand
I
that.
don't get
It's
it.
fucked up.
it's so
I don't
so good.
understand
Of
it.
course, Andy in his very Andy colors.
Yeah.
Then we have Nick. I mean, just it's shocking how much that looks like Nick.
It's
like,
my nose. It's a problem.
like it's like wow.
It really does look like
You are Mario.
Wait, Tim, I think you're wrong. I think that first one isn't because like Cool Greg is very clearly right next to you, right? Looking down further.
That's Barrett.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense there. You're good.
Read
You're right.
through it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Read
then we have okay. So Cool Greg, then Andy, then Nick, then Greg Miller, then Blessing, then Kevin, then Joey.
Kevin and Joey are toads. I
Yeah.
love it.
And you can see like the toad's like a brimless hat for Kevin.
Oh my God.
And then me, and then Barrett, Roger, Mike in his shorts.
Yes. Mike looks like a leprechaun.
Now I see Mike.
So
Okay.
yeah,
I
that's
see.
real good
He
stuff.
looks like a
there.
leprechaun cop.
Mike with the goddamn shorts. This is beautiful.
Great
This-
job. Great job.
Cameron, can we sell this as a print? Let us
Yeah, I
know.
was gonna say this needs to be
Yeah,
a T-shirt or
Patreon
a print.
thing,
Or,
yeah.
something.
Or just
It's
send it to
incredible.
me. Thank you.
It's also fucked up that when Mario gets his most powerful power up, he turns 5'11". Like I hate that so much.
Yeah.
How tall do you
up.
think we'd
It's
be
so-
if we ate the
Blessing,
mushroom?
this is what I was trying to bring up. This is such a Tully agenda move.
Yeah. If we had that mushroom, I think we'd probably go from 6'1" to 6'3", probably.
Easily too tall though.
Yeah. It's
6'1",
too tall.
Too tall.
Does anyone
Yeah.
else get scared when like
I wish
one
I'd
of
get
them,
shorter.
Like, our members lies about their height, like it's like super normal, and it's just like wow, like is it in their mind that they're taller? Because it freaks me out sometimes.
Let's continue with
I don't know
plot.
who he's talking about right now.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
You're all so small and beneath me, literally, that I don't worry about it.
Cool.
So he turns off Kid Icarus. He's like, you know what? Maybe I'll put on a good PlayStation game. But before then, he watches the news. Guess what? Brooklyn's flooding, and all these morons from the
And
public
who
works
is
of
it? Who's
Pauline,
telling you?
Pauline, Mayor's
The
Pauline.
Mayor Pauline, baby.
And so Mario's like, I know what we'll do. We'll save Brooklyn. And Luigi's like, what? And they grab his little toolkit. Yeah, don't fucking come back, Nick, you know? No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Give me one of them chocolate eggs. With the marshmallow. Anyways, though, so they go down
Those are
there.
the lowest ranked eggs.
Really?
In the office.
I like a good marshmallow. The Twix one almost broke my tooth yesterday. It's delicious, but it bites back.
That's a weak ass teeth. What the fuck?
Didn't one of yours fall out or disintegrate, don't
What are
you?
your teeth made out of?
I don't. I mean, I just
Hey,
it fought
did
back.
you lose a tooth recently?
Not recently.
No,
years ago.
several years ago. It was decaying, and then I ate fajita, and I bit into it, and it's like, oh, it's fully broken now. But it was decaying to the point of like, I should get this checked out. Never did, and it was just breaking down, and I'd get like the worst migraine headaches ever. And then it broke apart, pulled the fajita out. There was a tooth part with it. Went to the restroom, broke the rest of it out, and they finally
You
pulled it
ate the
from my
rest of the
skull.
fajita.
Oh my god.
Welcomed in review, bless.
This is amazing. I'm also in the middle of that process right now where like this tooth right here is decaying and I'm
It
like,
is
I should get this
decaying.
checked
Eat a
out.
fajita.
I ate a piece of chocolate on stream a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh, that's kind of painful. And somebody in the chat was like, that shouldn't hurt. And I'm like, oh, we'll figure that out later, I guess.
Yeah.
Andy,
Oh,
something
God.
you did musically popped really hard. Just a heads up.
Anyway, so then they go down into the water. He's like, they're not even in the right place, and they open up a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cover. Did you know there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie coming from Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
Did you know that there's another Troll movie coming too? Man, I learned a lot of stuff watching previews. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got the
that
Evil Dead
popping noise
trailer in there.
Sorry, that popping noise is from Greg moving your mic around. Just be careful with that.
My apologies.
It's okay.
I'll just put it down. I'll just put it down and make it try to be better for you. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I love you.
He's on Coke number 2. You got
So we start going down. We said this
got
earlier,
it.
but we get the World,
World
1,
One,
2 thing, or level 1, 2,
Greg,
and
I love
the
you too.
music starts playing of the underground theme, and it's like, all right, I'm just sitting here like basking in it.
Dude, the orchestral, like, I need this soundtrack.
I can't. I've been all day refreshing Spotify, seeing if it's popping up. It hasn't yet.
They get down there and they find the secret warp pipe while working on the drain. Luigi investigates first. He gets sucked in. Mario investigates next. He gets sucked in. Crazy shit's happening. And then they're sucked out there like sliders. They're just sliding through the universe out there. And you remember sliders.
But I just love that, like, you reference sliders as
Small
if it's
wonder.
fucking universal. Like, every mom and pop even knows, like, what
Listen.
sliders is.
Sliders is a staple of everybody who's a nerd. Now, when I took a swing at what's happening yesterday, yeah, I knew I was going to miss, but I still did it. I still took the shot, all right? There's a lot of true what's happening fans out there, and I want you to know that I'm still one of them, all right? Rerun, what up? So everything, they're
Just an aggressive cop.
they're going, I used to eat a shrimp pizza and watch sliders.
We didn't get any of that. Did you guys understand?
I used to eat a shrimp pizza.
Pizza and watch something. Then he started laughing. I think he's talking about what's happening again.
Sliders.
Oh, that's right.
Sliders. I'm so sorry, everybody.
It wasn't always shrimp pizza, but I just remember one time definitively it had little baby shrimps on it, and I was eating and watching sliders. Those are good memories. Danny's Pizzeria.
Shrimp pizza sounds disgusting.
It probably wasn't good.
I'm not fucking with that.
I understand.
Oh God.
Put in sliders Jerry O'Connell, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Anyways, so they're in the hole. They're in the space between spaces.
Which we've never seen before. We just never known what it looks like for them.
I
to
always
go
assumed it was
between
just a
pipes.
dark pipe and they popped out the other side.
Yeah, me
This
too.
is a
Never
neat
thought
little-
about it. I was
this
like,
is
oh,
neat.
cool. It's like portals and shit.
This time, yeah, they're shooting through the multiverse. They can see all the different pipes. And Mario and Luigi have the, as long as we're together. I think it's their second time saying it, right? As long as we're together, we're okay or whatever. There we are. Our boy, Jerry O'Connell. As long
It
as,
looks so good.
as long as we're together, we can do anything or whatever. And so that's just dynamite. You know what I mean? And so then guess what happens? They're immediately separated. Thank you very much. And Luigi gets flung over to the dark pipe. You know what I mean? We've all learned many times, be afraid of the dark pipe. Am I right, Andy? Huh?
What's in the dark pipe, Andy? What's in there, Andy?
It's in the dark pipe, Andy. It's got a fire around it. What's in there, huh?
Leave me alone.
Mario goes through the normal pipe. He pops out. This is the part we all got to see earlier, right? He pops out and touches a blue mushroom. Toad pops up and says, "Don't touch that, you'll die," or whatever. "Oh, I'm just kidding. You're fine with that one." Like, okay, cool. Toad not too spooked that this is a human, but immediately decides we're going to the princess, and that's just what it is and how it is, and they go, and it was our walk towards princess.
This moment for the next like 5 minutes is just a cacophony of musical melodies and references and motifs where it's just like, boom, of course you get the classic Mario theme to see Mushroom Kingdom for the first time, but then moment Toad starts walking, you hear the Captain Toad theme playing, and it just kind of starts weaving between stuff. And as they walk through the different section, it goes from Mario 1 music to 2 music to 3 music to World to 64, like within 15 seconds. And all of it is timed with things that they're doing from those games, and it's fucking awesome. Continue.
They step on one of them caterpillars that's got the multiple heads things that I know from the game. Of course, not only did Luigi go to the dark pipe, it turns out he's gone to the dark lands or whatever. That's what Toad tells him, you know what I mean? That's bad. So that's one of the reasons we're going to go see the princess or whatever. We cut back to the dark lands. Luigi's there. We get some good, almost Luigi Mansion callbacks. He's shivering. He's got his flashlight or whatever.
And direct Luigi's Mansion music.
Sure.
Playing in the background. Love that. Same animation that he's got going. Him doing the Mario. Fuck yeah, guys.
And so he moves it around, sees one of my boys, Dry Bones, out there. Dry Bones gives chase to him. They break him. He
kind of a scary scene for kids.
No, for sure.
This went a little harder than I expected.
Then more Dry Bones start coming out of the ground. They're chasing him.
This is the horror I'm looking for.
Luigi runs and eventually locks himself in an abandoned castle, and it's Shy Guys in there, right? They get him.
Scary.
Full stop.
Shy Guys, the lightning with the Shy Guys behind it is awesome.
The Shy Guys, I think, are like top 3 coolest looking things in this movie. Shy Guys just always look cool anyway, but I just love like the reflectivity on their little masks or whatever. Like they reflect so much of the light around them, but like I don't know, they just got such a great look to them. The dude with the gas mask version,
Snippet.
Shy Guys are
Excuse me?
coolest. I'm just
Called a snippet.
Oh,
Do you know this?
I'm doing whippets with Snippet. I'll see you later.
You're way in the Duffy.
If we can stop, if we can just pull, we've been doing real well on this plot and making great time. So if we can just pull over for 1 second and have a conversation.
Hold on, I got it.
Wouldn't you? Thank you, Nick. Wouldn't you agree, Tim? And I need you just to, for 1 second, check your Nintendo bullshit.
checking
all
all my bullshit,
objective. Don't you think booze should be called Shy Guys?
I am so happy someone finally fucking said it. I thought about that for so long.
Right?
What you need to remember, though, Greg, is that the Shy Guys are from
Mario Brothers 2.
which was originally...
Doki
Doki Panic.
Thank you very much. So, they're not even originally Mario characters, so it's, a little bit weird.
wow, we're getting
There's
to
a translation error.
We're getting to that weird, a Caterpie should be the
Cat.
Venomoth and fucking...
This guy knows what's up.
No, but this
Venomoth should be Pikachu.
big controversy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you know that Pokemons are aliens because they came on an asteroid?
Only some of them.
other ones
Nanobiologist
grew
tried to
from
correct me,
plants.
but it was too late. We were off to the
It was
races.
too late. It was too
late.
late.
The facts are out there.
Kid, you wronged me on that. I was like,
The
that's
world took that
interesting.
fact
And
and ran
then,
with it.
you can't put it. Genie's out. Can't put it back in the bottle. So yeah, that's what's happening with Luigi's camp, right? Back there, then it's like, all right, cool. We gotta get the princess. She's up there in the castle. So let's take a million pipes or whatever, and we get a fun little scene of him getting sucked around. It's really easy for Toad. He's having a great time. You know what I mean? Mario's getting slammed into things. He's falling. He's kicking his little legs. Everybody's looking at him, of course.
Funny comedy here. This is where all the cool music cues are, but I like the Toad delivery of the line that we've seen in the trailers of the get out of the way, his brother's gonna die imminently. No, he's not. Like that stuff, I thought it worked for me.
Same here.
The joke, the visual gags of like going through the pipes and it zooming out and all that. Like I just thought it was like well paced and well played, while also having all the cool Mario jumping on floating blocks
Yeah,
and shit.
this is one of the scenes where I was smiling nonstop, right? Like I couldn't stop myself from feeling so much joy. And like rewinding a little bit, right, when Toad first introduces Peach's Castle and the theme plays from the N64 Peach's Castle, it hits the dun 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 dun, dun like immediate chills. I got in that moment. So good.
Yeah, and then they walk by the antique shop, and you see like a ton of the different like Toad House like things going and like in the different items.
8-bit
and
items
then
too, yeah.
The cheap in the bag.
Yeah, all that stuff. And they're like, oh, does this still work? Like, yeah, you just got to blow in it. Like all the classic jokes you'd expect.
Was this the part where there was like the dun gun dun gun dun gun dun,
Yeah.
and like somebody was doing the thing? So good.
Finally, we get up there out of the pipe. It's in front of the castle. We see the stained glass or whatever. They walk up over there, and guess what? The two Toad guards are gonna fuck with him and say the princess isn't in this castle.
Great way to have the line that had to be in it. I was wondering how they're going to do it, and I thought that the way they played this joke, I was like, I'm impressed,
Me too.
writers. You did a good job.
To distract him, little Toad cooks him a meal.
It was weird. Funny, but
I mean,
weird.
Toads are stupid. We all know that. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Is like,
Here we go.
I'll tell you straight up.
Yeah.
I'm watching this movie.
How's this getting back to Waco, Texas?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I got there, I was thinking the whole time, now Mario, he's just a little guy like Kevin. But if it was me in there, and I'm up there, and these guys I tell you what, I wouldn't wait for the food to get cooked. I would just start
throwing
kicking.
elbows?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much fun that would be? to just
eat this
kill.
shit
And they're
out of
not
someone
even they're
smaller
not
than you.
humans, so we're not going to hell
What do you
for
care?
it. You know what I mean?
They don't exist in our heaven.
skillet.
They don't exist in our
Who's
heaven.
gonna be? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
they have robot heaven. They have
They
toad
have their
heaven.
own stupid little toad hell.
Anyways, Mario sneaks in there,
I'll have to
tries to
add
get
some mushrooms to that spaghetti from scene one.
exactly. You know what I mean? Gives it a little salute. Then they realize he's fake. Then they run around and they chase him around. Meanwhile,
And what is there, Greg?
Huh?
There's fucking paintings all over the
course, yeah,
goddamn
it's
castle
the
of all the
castle.
different fucking levels, man. Let's go.
So you know they then we cut to the war room where Princess Peach is getting the full debrief from her Toad with the glasses, who's like, you know, Bowser's on his way here. We're fucked. She's like, nothing's fucked. Just give me something to drink. Lipton's brisk iced tea. Yeah.
Love how absolutely serious that one character is of just like doing an actual.
What are you eating, Kevin? What are you?
Oh, fried chicken.
Kevin got some KFC.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, no, we-
inspired me. Greg inspired me yesterday.
Like that character was fucking phenomenal. Like such a funny tone for this. I loved everything he said, but I also loved the sundial thing on the floor of the castle that we know from Mario 64. That's how you get into the wing cap level. It turning into the world map and having the digital
So
representation of the different lands as they like look at it as like a battlefield thing. I'm like, fucking goddamn, this is sick.
She's like, you know, nothing's fucked. I'm gonna go get Donkey Kong, the Kong army. We'll get this. It'll be dope. She's like, I'll set off in the morning. She leaves. Mario runs into her. She does a little judo flip to him. She's like, wait, he's human. Don't like fucking kill him. And he gets up and says like two things. She's like, cool, you'll come with me then. We're going to go do this. And he's like, oh, that was easy. And so then we probably click back over there and we'll say to Luigi getting thrown in front of Bowser, you know, he's not going to tell him anything. But then he knew about the mustache because Camelback had told him that, you know, the princess was saying, I guess they saw him getting trained or whatever. So that's good.
Camelback, yeah.
But Camelback's like, yo, he was training this thing. And then he's like, okay. And then he starts torturing Luigi by pulling on his mustache or whatever. And then he pulls out a whole bunch of the mustache. And then Luigi tells him everything, right? You know what I mean? And then he knows. He's like, great, cool.
Rat. What a rat, dude.
What a rat, I know, right?
I gotta ask a
respect.
question. Les, is this your first Cadbury egg?
Oh,
Yeah.
He did not know what was in there.
That cream
Somebody
just
please clip out
exploded
the
in that mouth. Yeah. He was like, oh, that was way too much.
He's going to be out of commission for a good
Yeah,
45
a
seconds
lot,
as he
a
figures
lot.
that out.
Yeah, so this I think was the scene where we get into Bowser's castle and they're playing music straight from the game from Bowser's Fury, I want to say, and it's going through this like a fucking rock concert going on and the bombs going through and like all the
Oh, right. And that's
bad
where he
guys
sets
are
the
there.
stage of what his plan is, right? We've got this. We're going to the Mushroom Kingdom, and I'm going to ask her to marry me. What?
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and if you know, she says no, we'll just take it over and destroy it.
And then there's the training montage of Mario with Peach.
Yeah, I'm getting to that right
There you
now.
go.
Yeah, so then she gets there and she's like, yeah, so I'm in the thing. No, this is a chance to prove yourself or whatever it was. And they go to the training montage and do the thing there where we're both humans. I walked out of a pipe as a little baby, and then they raised me, which was neat. And now everybody's here, and we eat these things, and you got to jump and do the thing. So he goes all day and all night, and at the very end, almost gets it, but doesn't get it. And she's like, "Good enough, we got to go." And he's like, "But I didn't do it." And she's like, "It doesn't matter, you know, your heart's pure," or some bullshit like that.
And there's some decent moments here, but I again, this is largely relying on the physical comedy, and there are some moments that hit, and a lot of this sort of sequences where we are seeing the stuff not quite for the adults, but more for the kids here. We're seeing him hit walls, and it's funny and haha. But man, I wish we had more of that war table type humor, more of the darker humor that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I'm just going to toss it in here because we'll do it later. But remember, you know, we cut back to Bowser a couple different times, and you know he's practicing his speech on how he's going to do it, and he's got the fake flowers.
Peaches.
He's playing the piano. He slams the piano on Camelback. So I'm just tossing them all here. Then you know, after the obstacle course, they just walk, and we get a few different Mario worlds. The sand one, you may remember, that's there. Yoshi's running along a creek. That's there. There's probably some other thing Tim would have nerded out for, but it's all there.
The Yoshis are so great.
They are
like
cute.
seeing that many Yoshis, which is
Running
weird.
free.
Yeah,
For now.
like God intended.
Yeah, exactly.
What do
Not
the
captive,
worldies
punched in the
have to
back of
say
the
about
head.
that?
Well, I mean, they would be pretty fucking impressed. There should be a crossover, probably.
Do you think that there's that many dinosaurs out there roaming free and the worldies aren't going to put a ring around their neck and just ride them?
First off, you know, for the one and only Chris Pratt's character that I don't remember from the Worldies, he fucking wasn't about that life. Remember, he had blue.
That's true.
Remember
he
Blue?
wanted Blue to go free. He taught him like click.
So they eventually get to Donkey Kong or the Kong's door, right? And they knock on that. They open up, and this guy yells at him, you know, roar the monkey roar, or a Kong roar. And then he's like, all right, cool. Actually, I'm a cool 80s dude. I have a blazer and sunglasses. Get in my car. And then they drive him, and it's a cool kart race thing. And
That wasn't Funky Kong though, right?
No, it wasn't.
Because we see Funky Kong somewhere,
I think he's like with the crew driving around like during the Mario Kart scene,
but I just didn't understand like what.
but we never met him.
The reason why I didn't love this introduction, except for there's a couple decent comedic parts, but getting to the Kong area, I don't know who this driver is, and it really just feel like they wanted an excuse to play
Take on me.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm so with you.
and it just feels really out of place.
Yeah. I like the scene though. Like I like seeing them drive around the Kong area. Like,
Me
I
too,
think visually it looked really cool, but the licensed music definitely felt a bit out of place to me.
I just wish it wasn't a Kong that drops them off and says peace out.
Yeah.
Like it just felt super unimportant. I know we're being introduced to this brand new place, but
I also wonder if that's them trying to set up for a future Kong movie. Like that's been reported, rumored, or whatever. Like they might be doing a Donkey Kong movie.
Okay.
So
Sure, but I mean, are you like hung up on? Are we all? Oh man, the '80s Kong guy was the coolest. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Could have been anybody.
I would have been totally down for it to be Funky Kong.
I guess if anything, maybe I don't know. I maybe read it as like he's Bouncer Kong, but it's like, because you get there and you expect him to be a bunch of giant apes who are just gonna smash into stuff. But
It's just weird with like
I agree.
so many known
I agree.
Kongs to just be someone we
there's a whole
don't
plethora
know.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So we get into front of Cranky Kong, and it turns out everybody in the universe hates this guy's voice. And he's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna give you the army. I don't care if the whole world's gonna die. I'm a stupid monkey." You know what I mean?
Excellent animation. Just the way that he uses his feet to grab things and like just move around. It's like God.
Play with
damn,
his beard
These
with his
animators went
feet, yeah.
off on that.
That one actually is motion capture, Andy Serkis.
Holy
Yeah, what do you got from the cat?
He's an ape, not a monkey.
Oh, it's funny though; they're both the same thing.
They're not.
So, anyways,
Both covered in hair?
no, exactly. Thanks, Nick. Prove my point up there. You know what I mean? This is my man. You know what
Come
I
on,
mean?
bro.
Kevin tries to come out there and like slap it down, and you just spike the ball on him. Bop,
Right
bop,
back up.
bop, bop,
All right, I got it.
Right back up.
And so, anyways, though, yeah, Cranky's like, no, that's cool. We're chill. We're not gonna do that. We don't care if we die. And then Mario speaks up and he's like, yo, I'll fucking murder anybody you put in front of me to let this happen. And he's like, what about my dumb fucking son? And he's like, okay, his name is Donkey Kong. And so then they go to Donkey Kong's giant arena to fight, and it's very much like Thor Ragnarok. And so then the doors open up, and Donkey Kong comes out, and they play the DK song, and that's fun. That's
Hey,
a,
the
that's a fun.
DK rap. We got the freaking it's Smash Brothers inspired like stadium. We got freaking it's all the layout of Donkey
Original.
Kong original game, and like in the crowd we have obviously multiple Kongs. We get the direct
I love it.
cities.
I love it.
stuff.
Like,
Dixie.
shut
we
up,
saw
Diddy.
we saw Dixie. What's his name? Chunky Kong was in there for a second.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong was in there.
Was Baby
Kong
Kong there?
No baby.
I didn't see
Kong.
Baby
God
Kong, no.
damn.
Oh.
There's no justice for Kong Jr. You know what I mean? Where was he? He doesn't exist. That's fucked up.
I mean, they got to give character growth for Donkey Kong, right? Now that he's no longer obsessed with himself, he can obsess with another monkey lady
love
and
her.
make
Candy Kong.
Kong Jr.
Candy.
Is that the one that you
Candy's
weirdos
probably
think
gonna
are
fuck,
hot? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, though, he's like, Cranky's like, yo, this guy could just kill you anyway, so I put power-ups out there for you. And they're like, all right, cool. And they start, and then he just starts fucking killing him, and he just gets his ass handed to him for a while. Just
Ass handed to him with the AAA Donkey Kong combo, then a down B combo. Later he gets the aerial A. It's like fucking goddamn, they nailed this shit.
Eventually, Mario is able to get a power-up. It's a little blue mushroom. He eats it and turns into little Mario. He didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? He gets fucked up some more.
He didn't see that Kongan.
They brawl around for a bit. They do some stuff, but then eventually Mario gets a real power up, the cat one. And then he falls down. Everybody's like, he's cute. Like, I'm a cat. And he's like, wait, I can fucking kick this. Cat can beat a monkey's ass. So he's fucking killing this monkey. It's fun.
fucking awesome, man. Like him doing the little like the diagonal like moves that he does in the cat suit, but even on the what do you even call it? The scaffolding, I guess, that from Donkey Kong. Like he's like running in and out of it, like
Yeah, that was
grabbing
cool.
himself.
That was cool.
Like, fuck,
The
man, this is
girders,
just
the steel
rad.
girders.
I have something to point out. Cody Hagler in chat says my theater went pretty crazy when Diddy Kong gets called out. I think it would have been comedically better had he not been called out by name. I like the idea of like just some guy rooting for him, like, hey, you shut up down there, and it's Diddy Kong. Like I calling him out by name just felt too. It felt like so
They're a
on the nose.
close-knit community of monkeys.
Enough of you, Diddy Kong. Like
They're
could've-
apes,
Thanks,
Greg.
Fred Armisen.
yeah, it's weird.
Tomato, Kev.
Thank you, Kevin.
Oh,
that
there
is
she is.
candy.
That's Candy
Wait,
Kong.
There's
we're the
candy.
perverts, right?
There's
Somebody
candy.
made this, all right?
Oh, candy.
And that's how she looked in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's legit.
This
Yeah.
is it. This is not fan art.
So just reassess what you think, Greg, all right? And they're the great ape family.
And one of the DLCs for Donkey Konga. Guess what you're batting on?
You always wonder who it's gonna be.
It's rarely Andy. It's rarely Andy. Mario, the cat beats the shit out of Kong because the power of positivity always wins.
And then what happens? They play the Donkey Kong death music from the original Donkey Kong game as he falls back. The do 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 do.
So
These
good.
motherfuckers know what's up.
From there, we go to the Cranky's Bordello or whatever, his little bungalow.
Bordello.
He's hanging out. He's hanging out there. Donkey Kong yells at Mario some more. And then they open the door, and he's like, "Cool, you can have it, and we're gonna go do the thing." But it's like, all right, first we gotta get there fast. Well, we know a shortcut. We'll use the shortcut. We'll beat you. Okay, cool. We gotta have carts to use the shortcut, and this is cool. They go down there, and this is Thunderstruck, and they make their own
Before
carts.
that,
It's really cool.
I know. I know I'm getting annoying just calling out every single fucking song they use, but they just did every single song. It's the Mario Kart 8 theme. Like, they're straight up playing it as they walk up to the carts, building it. We see the little way that you decide the three
Awesome.
cart pieces,
Amazing.
and like they build their carts, and it's fucking awesome. And then Thunderstruck.
I got
plays.
really hot for the Mario Kart music. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
So they start driving, and Mario's like, "Yo, we're running out of road," and he's like, "Well, kiss your ass goodbye," and they jump off, and it's Rainbow Road, and they're driving
I
off.
get the Rainbow Road music, and it's like magical.
Meanwhile, back at Bowser HQ, him and Camelback are doing stuff, and some guy, or maybe Camelback, is like, "Yo, we find out that they're trying to get us through the shortcut," and he's like, "Well, I got a fucking solution for that. I'll get them on the shortcut."
Pretty sure we skipped a part. And maybe it was when I was in the bathroom, but we haven't actually talked about him sitting down at the Ludwig von Koopa piano. Did we?
I mean, I threw it in the, hey, that happens. and
Nick
that other thing
sang a
happens.
full rendition when
Got
you
it.
were
We got a little bit of it.
You can give some more. Go
That's
ahead.
great.
Well, it's really great.
that's it.
Great scene.
I thought when you said camping, I thought you were going to talk about that scene. Great scene. Love it.
Camelback.
Really funny. Peaches,
So,
peaches, peaches.
you know, they
Got
get
3
closer. And they're like, you know what time it is, everybody? Everybody get your carts. And so they all get carts, and they jump onto Rainbow Road, and they're driving, and they're attacking, and they're pushing, they're pulling. Oh, I skipped the part where Mario flirts with Peach, and then Donkey Kong rolls up on him, and then Toad rolls up on him, and they argue about that. That was cute. You know what I mean?
Fucking Toad being like, he does have a chance.
I'll get you a turtle when you come to Brooklyn. Which I thought was maybe a Ninja Turtles reference, because it turns out there's going to be a new Ninja Turtles movie. I didn't know.
Badass. Yeah.
Y'all got jokes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my God. It all full circle, everybody.
Yeah. Anyways, though, Bowser's the guys there, the Koopas are there, and they're fucking shit up, and they're doing stuff, and that's happening, and that's cool. You know, by hook or crook, everybody drives for a while. They're throwing some bananas, they're throwing some shells, everything's going down. I don't remember what happens here, but we fix it and we get out of there. That's great. Good job.
I just love the anti-gravity moment. It was pretty hype for me. Like
Yeah.
when they the wheels, you see
Yeah,
that
that was nice.
animation. A lot of this really just is seeing the ultra HD UHD version of the things that you've loved.
Yeah, it's
So,
gotta be crazy as a
seeing all this
Nintendo
shit
fan to
really
see
nice.
It is.
Mario in HD. It's
It
Yeah.
really, really is.
Still
Yeah.
running at the same frame rate, 24 frames per second.
Mario, they set off a bomb. Mario and Luigi fall. It looks
But
like
it
they're
didn't set up a
dead.
bomb. Like, this setup was so fucking great. Where this is one of the few things that surprised me in the
Mario,
movie
Donkey
that I didn't really like see coming. Where it's like everything. It's like there's a setup and a payoff, and it's just the most one-to-one direct thing possible. But it being the blue turtle and like him coming out of the fire and just being like, blue shell, and then turning into the blue shell and flying with the wings. I was like, I've never thought about the blue shell in Mario Kart actually being a paratroopa, right? But it is.
Oh, yeah.
And so like that was fucking awesome. It blowing up the thing and then
Similar to
falling through.
Andy's thing of not calling out Diddy Kong, I almost wish that they didn't even say the words blue shell and
too.
just
Yeah.
like
Just did it.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, let me just see it. Oh,
Yeah.
snap, that's a blue shell. That's
Yep.
dope as hell.
But on the flip side, it's kind of like when an anime person says their
They're
move,
going
their
for-
power
yeah.
move.
Gallic gun.
Destructo disc.
Mario and Donkey Kong fall to their death. Asterisks. All the other people get captured, and then Peach gets away. And Peach gets back to the Mushroom Kingdom. Tells them they're coming.
Wait.
Tells all the Toads to hide. Yeah.
That was another moment that I just want to call out. On her motorcycle, she like goes up like the side of something and then lands, and it just I like audibly was like, "Oh shit, that was sick."
Peach was badass in this entire movie. Like all the choreography she had, like whether it's motorcycle or later we see her with the fucking ice powers, I was like, this is sick as hell.
She gets there and tells all the cowardly Toads to run and hide, and they all do because they're cowards. She breaks up her worm. They all run and hide. Toad says he'll stay with her. And, you know, I skipped a bunch of stuff here. Donkey Kong and, you know, Mario fell. Donkey Kong got knocked out while he's bickering with Mario. Then Mario saved his life. Then they get eaten by the whale or whatever. An eel. They get eaten by an eel. They get pulled in there. They eventually, Donkey Kong pounds on it. It's beautiful in there, as we already talked about.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to talk a little bit more about it. Like, I think this is one of the rare moments of the movie, besides the Brooklyn stuff in the beginning, that it's it is a unique idea. Like seeing Rainbow Road broken in the water, like that is what a Mario movie can be. It's like that the magic we know, but seen in a more cinematic way. And I think that they were flexing there. Illumination's like, yeah, we fucking got this stuff.
While that's happening, of course, all the Kongs get put into their jail cells next to the Luma, next to Luigi, next to the Penguins. They've been there for a while. We've talked about the Luma. Very funny, very disturbing. You know what I mean?
Very disturbing.
So then, Mario and
Sweet release of death.
Donkey Kong get out using, the broken jet of Donkey Kong's cart.
As featured in Donkey Kong Country Returns. Most of the Donkey Kong Country games have the minecart levels. That one has minecarts, but then it also has the rocket barrel, things like that. So I was like, good for you guys.
They use that to fly back to the Mushroom Kingdom, where, of course, Peach has been confronted by
Nick,
Bowser.
We're teaching Nick right here.
How close is the minecart to the mine goblin?
Oh, God. What's a mind goblin?
Mine goblin, these nuts, Andy.
Good job.
Guys, we were at Starbucks today, me and Nick, and he wasn't even trying to be funny, but we walk in and he's
What
like,
did I do?
can I get a nice coffee, whatever? And he pauses, he goes, and these nuts.
Oh,
He fucking takes nuts in his puts it, but he wasn't trying to be an asshole. And the two guys look at each other like, is he fucking with us?
It's because I kind of swung him at him.
Yeah, he's like, these nuts.
These nuts.
And these dangling nuts.
Bowser confronts Peach. She's ready to fight. So is Toad. And he tells her, of course, that he just wants to marry her. She says she won't marry him. And he's like, cool. Then guess what? Everybody dies unless you do it. And she's like, oh my, isn't that what he says? I don't remember. I assume that's the threat. Oh my God. Okay, then fine. I'll marry you or whatever to save my Toads. And he's like, yay. And then, all Camelback's like, yo, all prisoners, you shouldn't be invited, but you're invited to the wedding. Come on.
I loved Kamek, by the way. I think the voice and everything kind of encapsulated what I'd expect that dude to sound like.
Exactly. Yeah, he was so good. I will say, Mario, the plot of Mario, period. Dude, plumber, saving the princess, right? The most tried and true basic thing possible. As times went on, they've tried to kind of empower Peach in different ways and make it a little bit different. When Odyssey came out and kind of who's gonna make one of us big? But in Odyssey and then even Sunshine kind of did this, but they played on the whole Bowser wants to marry Peach thing. And then with Odyssey, that was really the whole point of that game. I was surprised in 2017 when they did that because it's this feels weird. For this to be the plot of the movie in 2023, it does feel a little weird. It's authentically weird. Bowser, but it's we're all just kind of laughing at this, but this is really weird and inappropriate. Just want to put that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the wedding. Right before it, Toad gives Peach her flowers, and there's a big wink and a nod there. They get up there to start the wedding, and then it immediately goes wrong. And Peach is like, "You think I'd ever marry you?" And she hits it, and it's a blue flower, and she's got the ice. And so they were sacrificing the prisoners. She freezes that thing to save people from getting melted, and then she freezes Bowser.
Cameos galore.
Yeah.
At the
Luigi.
weddings.
Oh, yeah.
King Babam coming through, and I'm just like,
King Boo.
oh, that's exactly. But they blew up King Babam.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
It's funny because it's a movie, so we know that the prisoners are gonna get out somehow. But as they're lowering, I was like, how are they gonna get out of this one? I legit was like, man, they're getting close to the lava.
And of course,
Penguin just
the ice melts. They all start falling again, and Mario and Donkey Kong, who have come at this point, Donkey Kong gets up there and stops the wheel and cranks it back. Luigi gets out. He starts trying to fall when he cranks it out. Luigi falls. Mario had found the Tanuki suit.
We skipped a whole action scene here, which is the Mario action scene of this movie, where it's Mario and Donkey Kong doing the full 2D platformer thing. Donkey Kong is functioning like he does in Tropical Freeze, jumping from foreground to background. Both powered up. Music is just fucking popping off, and they're just wrecking shop. And it is magic, man. I just smile on my face. The entire scene here, I just was so enthralled with what's happening. He gets the Tanuki suit. We're not supposed to.
But he had to
Don't
get
get the Tanuki, but he did
the
it.
Duke.
And he just starts flying around. And I was like, God, how is this real? How is this real, Greg Miller? Continue.
Power of Nintendo. Saves Luigi, brings him down. This is the moment of the whole, like, we can do anything together, and they hug. And I'm like, oh, that's a very sweet thing. And then Bowser breaks his head out, and he's just like, he sees, them all being cute together, and he's like, send in Bullet Bill. Very Thanos, you know what I mean? Rain, fire. Bullet Bill comes out, and he's coming down to just destroy the Mushroom Kingdom right on top of Peach's castle. And so Tanuki
Reference to Super Smash Bros. Melee, where the Bullet Bill, the giant one, will come down and beep around the top of the castle just like that.
Okay. Tanuki Mario flies up there and tries to stop it, gets in front of it like Superman Returns. He can't stop it. And then he finally I'm sorry for this. And he spins and hits him in the eye with his tail. And
Didn't like
makes
this.
No?
Felt weird.
Yeah.
Because that's just that's not a mechanic from the games, and it just kind of felt like a weird. They didn't know what to do, so that was their answer to it.
Yeah.
It was a weird animation too of the eye like looking like liquid. It was kind of gross.
Hitting him in the eye was weird, but isn't like in Mario 64? Isn't there like a mission where you can like have a Bullet Bill chase you around and you make it hit a thing?
Yeah.
In Galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Galaxy, but I mean, I'm just saying, like the swing to hit the eye, just like that was the weird part for me.
And this pisses off Bullet Bill, who, binks on top of the flagpole and then turns and chases Mario. Mario making the interesting choice of, what I'll do? I'll send Bullet Bill back to New York. I clearly, fuck my family, they were mean to me.
Right.
I'd rather them be destroyed.
Kill
by
all the
this thing.
mushrooms in New York.
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
going to kill my family and that one guy, Spike. What was his name?
Yeah, Spike nailed it.
I thought it was going to be a pipe to like the desert area or something like that. I was not.
No, it was.
expecting
It was. I
suck
think he
everything
ran
in New
by.
York.
And he's like, "Oh, that's what brought me here." And I was like, "That's an interesting."
Kevin,
callback.
can you
That's my
Google Spike Super Mario? Because I don't like that they call this dude Spike when we all know what Spike looks like, and it's that little dinosaur-looking dude.
Yeah, but this is from the Wrecking Crew or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember Tim told you?
Yeah.
You're thinking about a little mini one that's like in.
Yeah, you're thinking of.
The thing that like blows the ball.
Yeah, he's kind of has like a
Yeah.
it's
Bullet
like
Bill
that.
flies into
Like
the
that.
space between spaces and explodes there, and that just shoots fucking rainbows and crap out of all the holes or whatever. And then everybody's like, "Oh, that's fucking crazy!" And then everything gets sucked into the holes, right?
I missed this earlier. I think I was in the bathroom one day. We're doing the whole the going through a bunch of different lands, but it was the Tostarena, the desert area from Odyssey. It
Nailed
was Babam Battlefield, which was the
Oh,
first level in
yeah.
64 with the
The
cannon
and the
and
island in the sky.
yeah, which is so sick. And then World 2 from Mario 1, where they're crossing the bridge with all the cheap fishes.
Yeah. That's cute. So everybody gets sucked in, and then Mario gets spit out into New York. And I think Spike's there right away. He's like, "Mario, you fucked up my pizza," or whatever the fuck he was carrying out. I forget what he's carrying out. And Mario's like, "Yeah, here, this is Spike here."
No.
Okay.
No. This
Foreman
is
Spike.
from
This from
Wrecking
Wrecking
Crew.
Crew.
Okay.
And then this is the
That's-
Spike.
That's
That
the Spike I think of.
Sure. I understand that. That makes sense to me.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
What's going?
Gonna get
Can you
even
click
more
on the one
confusing
there that
next week.
says Spike proposed anatomy? I'd like to see what they're coming.
Yeah, I
up
kind of
with.
want to see that too.
It's got a mouth, industrial ball supply, shell, and stomach.
I don't
Alright.
like it.
Okay.
You got good vision, Greg. Like, I mean, I guess I'm just used
All in
to
a
sitting
day's
with
work.
Like Mike.
Yeah. We're getting ready to do KFW planning, right? And he's like, "We might need to get a monitor on the table because I can't see the screen." I'm like, "It's wrestling. They're going to be fucking 4 feet tall. How can you not see what's happening?"
Mike sees
Please,
smushy.
please
That's all he
let's not
sees.
get started on this.
Anyways, so yeah, Spike gets pissed off, but then guess what? The whole fucking island, everybody comes out, but I mean, the whole island of Bowser comes out, right? And it's in Brooklyn, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna die. This is terrible." You know what I mean? And so everybody's panicking, running around, and then Bowser comes out and he starts beating the shit out of Mario, I think, right? And then Mario hides in the pizza place, and a bunch of other people are there. Donkey Kong is there, smashing some shit and doing whatever, blah blah blah. They're all fighting their best, you know what I mean? But
Plot wise, a lot of stuff I didn't love here. Like pretty much from the Bullet Bill getting sucked in, like there was just like this is a means to an end to get us here, but at no point in the movie did I not believe in Mario, right? Like he was like, "I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna try to do this." So this scene where he gets thrown in the pizzeria and he's kind of there and he's looking all scared. It's like
That was weird.
what the fuck? Like,
well,
this is-
he's beaten, like right. He's back in the real world. He's got bruises. His arm seems like it's out of place.
But but there was nothing that really tied that to the original story in any way. Like
There's
there
no
was
growth there, right?
Yeah, there like if that was tied to a moment earlier in the movie where he froze up and somebody's like, "See, you always choke at the last," or whatever the hell, like in what movies do.
But we also we saw a flashback where he never chokes, right? Like his brother's being bullied by a much bigger, bully, and
Yeah.
he steps in and beats the kid's ass. And so by the end of this, you're like, well, we know he's going to do it because he never You know, I don't know if he beats his ass.
No, I just love it though.
He steps in and,
Baby
like,
Mario's
that's like-
hands are covered in blood.
but to Andy's point, like
broke my
that you want to see that growth arc,
Yeah.
right? You want to see all those callbacks build something, have him be like, I do believe in myself, but he believed in himself the entire time.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird.
Having said that, we get that in the moment with the Super Mario Brothers, and like the commercial starts going, "We're gonna save Brooklyn, save Brooklyn, save Brooklyn." I'm like, let's fucking go, save Brooklyn, Mario.
Greg, do you think that maybe not a year, maybe 2-3 years later, the New York Times report comes out? What caused the accident in
I
Brooklyn?
mean, there's a dynamite when they pull back on the newspaper clipping on the wall, and I read as fast as I could. I'd love to freeze frame it, but it's like, you know, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and it's like an ape in a tie. I was like, I love that they just explained it that way. Anyways, yeah, so Mario goes out there and he's like, listen here, motherfuckers, right? And he goes to get the star, but Bowser knows that, so they get the star back, and then for some reason, they get the star away from him again, and then he runs over to get the star, but he's about to get burned, but Luigi runs and he gets a manhole cover and he blocks it, and he's like, together, there's nothing we can't do. And he
It's
reaches
perfect.
his hand out.
Again, simple. We all saw it coming, but they just did the thing, and they did it perfectly. Luigi stepping up to be there for his brother, using the thing as a shield, them grabbing each other, and then getting the star and the fucking orchestral star theme, man. Them
And they just
glowing,
fucking destroy
wrecking
everybody.
shop, running through, fucking up everybody, and it ending in them together, grabbing Bowser by the tail, spinning him around like Mario 64, and fucking launching him. It's pure magic. This is as good as a Mario movie can get. It's worth seeing just for this one fucking scene.
And then he also
lost my
he
shit.
picked up a little penguin and threw him with him.
All the family members see it. They all rejoice. They force feed Bowser a blue mushroom like Fat Princess, and they put him into a pickle jar, just like Spirits Unleashed. And then they're like, "Cool, this has happened. Good, congratulations, everybody. You know, it's all well and good." Then we get the photo, like I was saying, the black and white photo in the newspaper. Then we pull back and
Pet turtle joke. Like, wow, that came back around. Wasn't
Didn't see that
expecting
coming. Good
Mario,
job, guys.
Mario and Luigi wake up to Mr. Blue Sky, which is also another Chris Pratt anthem from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And then it's like playing low, like quietly, and then they open the door because you think they're in Brooklyn. Guess what? They said fuck Brooklyn, and they did move to the Mushroom Kingdom, where again, Mario's plan had been just to destroy New York. He was turning his back on everyone there, but now he's kind of made up for it. They might just be living there because rent's free. I'm not sure 100%. And then they go to the pipe every day and come through back into New York. But that's Super Mario. Oh, no, it's I mean, then there's post credits, right? Where we go through there, right? And Bowser's getting pushed around by the Toads because he's playing his little piano in his little pickle jar or whatever. And which seems like it'd be easy, right? Because you just have to get hit once. So if I was Bowser, I'd just toss the piano onto myself and then I'd blow up real big and then I'd eat all the fucking Toads and I'd get out of there. And then it's more credits. And then we get the final thing that I predicted on Games Daily as one of the final post credit scenes of the Yoshi egg. And then that's the Super Mario movie, everybody.
Yeah, we get the Yoshi voice actor. We get Yoshi actually saying his favorite role, his favorite line, Yoshi. Little facts that I actually didn't know here. Yoshi voiced by Totaka Kazumi, a Japanese video game composer and sound director best known for his various compositions in a ton of Mario games. He is the composer. The voice of Yoshi is the composer of Mario Land 2, Mario Paint, Link's Awakening. A whole big list of things. Animal Crossing stuff, the Pikmin series, some of the Yoshi's Island games.
Wait,
it goes on.
does he do Yoshi's Story?
Yoshis.
Is he the one that puts the same
Yep.
theme into all? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he has his theme that he puts into all.
No,
these
that's
games.
Tanaka.
Oh, okay.
That's different. But and also the director of Wii Music. So interesting.
Oh.
The voice of Yoshi.
Everybody
as
misses
featured in
occasionally.
this. In this.
Nick, real
yeah.
quick, trivia for you.
Yeah.
Who do I look like with my hat pulled down to the side here a little bit?
Who do you look like?
Yeah.
Oof.
We were looking for Leonardo DiCaprio on Catch Me If You Can.
Ah, okay.
I might be a
I was gonna
pilot.
say Wayne,
They're gonna say
Wayne
M.
the Rock
Bison.
Johnson in Jungle Cruise.
Oh, I take that too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do something I like to call RaGu BaGu. Actually, sorry. Real quick, last thing I want to say about the fucking music and shit. The credits theme of this movie is immaculate. I'm gonna be listening to this thing for the rest of my life. Pretty much any Mario theme that you could ever want has never sounded this good. The orchestra was fucking killing it, going through all the games. When the Galaxy music started playing, it was just
So good.
a victory lap of like, what the fuck did we just experience? Absolutely love that shit. RaGu BaGu, please.
RaGu.
No, hold on.
RaGu. BaGu.
Holy
Let's see you host this one.
I don't know how the show goes. Yo,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rad Guys Talk Bad Guys, a podcast within a podcast. We rank all the villains of the Super Mario Cinematic Universe. Gentlemen, where are we putting Bowser?
Number 1, Bowser, 23.
Cool.
See next week. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's like legitimately might be like the worst plot for a bad guy ever, period. But Bowser was great. I really liked Jack Black's performance.
Yeah.
I thought the bad guy choreography and all the shit they did was great. The kart race was like thrilling and fun to see, but like overall, it's like, yeah, him marrying Peach and stuff. Weird call for them to commit that hard to it, but it resulted in the Peaches song, so I can't complain.
You figure it's at some point, not it's like a get out of jail free, but the fact that Peach was independent, strong, able to do, you know what I mean? Like she wasn't a damsel in distress, right? I think helps in the mainstream take of that plot line.
Yeah.
In 2023, and I think even as opposed to Odyssey.
I would have loved it if he was like trying to unite his kingdom with her kingdom. It was like, again, more of the Game of Thrones saying like, I need her family and her power or whatever. I think that would have been kind of cool.
I would have loved if like a ninja rat raised him. You know what I mean? Then he would know love. Then he
But
would know love.
did the rat see the
did he
karate? Is
learn?
that how he learned it?
I knew
Do
it.
you guys think it's weird that the Mushroom Kingdom found this little child and they were like, yeah, she'll be our princess? I think it's some more Tolly bullshit where they're like, oh, she's real tall.
I mean, here's the thing to really
fuck it,
think
we
about,
battled
Kevin.
here.
Don't I bet they've had that
Plus,
pipe
back me up
forever.
on this.
No,
They've
I'm
had
with
that
you.
pipe forever. So that means that, of course, you know, Toads have gone through there and they've never come back.
I
Maybe
fucking can't wait for next week.
maybe the original Toad that went through there like brought mushrooms to our world, and
Yeah.
when he never returned, they're like,
And
we
they
don't
ate
go
him.
in that pipe. We don't
ate
go in
him.
exactly.
He ate him.
That toad's dead. To my tummy.
So Bowser is there, and then of course just ranking the movie. This is currently number 1. We will have to return next week to see where Super Mario Brothers 1993 ranks. I've seen movie critics say that the 93 movie's better than this.
It's crazy.
They're fucking insane. But I will say, I can't wait to watch this movie. Can't wait to talk to all you guys. I will let you know Nick Scarpino's doing the plot for the 1993 Mario movie.
You think I'm going to have a little point break in there for you, Andy? Bet your ass I am.
I'm sure you will.
Nick didn't even flinch. He just stood there and took a hat to the
I didn't mean it as like an attack. I meant it as like I'm passing the recap hat.
I got it. It hit you right in the face.
But then you let it fall to the ground. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fuck it. I stay
perfect.
locked in, bro. I'm always paying attention on podcasts.
So I should have said this at the top of the show, but you can't stream the 93 Mario movie anywhere on any of the streaming services. So you have to go to the Internet Archive. We have kindafunny.com/Mario will take you to the version of the film we are watching. We are not watching the extended cut. We're not doing that to ourselves. We're just watching the normal one.
Coward.
kindafunny.com/Mario, and you'll be able to watch it and then watch along with us for the in review. It's going to be a great time for everybody. I'll put a link in the description as well. kindafunny.com/Mario to watch the original movie. But until next time. What? Fuck.